Ooh. Ah, come on. Don't do that. Ooh. Ah, come on. Don't do that. Ooh. Ah, come on. Don't do that. Ooh. Hello and welcome to this United Stand Halloween spooky Manchester United versus Benfica is why we're here really. And come on. That is what we will be talking about. The team news is about to start, but I'm a little bit sad actually because I remember the United Stand when it first started and I dressed up. Hello and welcome to this United Stand Halloween spooky Manchester United versus Benfica. If I was wearing a scary outfit, I'd probably wear a Liverpool one with Premier League winners. That is what we will be talking about. The team news is about to start, but I'm a little bit sad actually because I remember the United Stand when it first started. Hello and welcome to this United Stand Halloween lineup for Manchester United. If I was wearing a scary outfit, and we want to know what that is with Premier League is what we'll be talking about. The team news is about to start, but I'm a little bit sad actually because I remember the United Stand when it first started. Hello and welcome to this United Stand Halloween lineup for Manchester United. If I was wearing a scary outfit, and we want to know what with Premier League is what we'll be talking about. I would like them to start, but I'm a little bit sad actually because I remember the United Stand when it first started. Welcome to this United Stand Halloween lineup for Manchester United. If I was wearing a scary outfit, and we want to know what with Premier League is what we'll be talking about. I would like them to start, but I'm a little bit sad actually because I remember the United Stand when it first started. Welcome to this United Stand Halloween lineup for Manchester United. If I was wearing a scary outfit, and we want to know what with Premier League is what we'll be talking about. And yeah, I know why it's repeating. Don't worry, stick with me. I know what was going wrong. Audio's fine. It's absolutely fine. Bear with me. Bear with me. Get my little horns up. Sort my hair out. Audio's fine. Don't worry about that. I know what I did wrong. Rushing is the problem with that. So team news is not out yet, even though we've gone live a little bit early. But as soon as it comes out, I shall let you know. Computer's playing up, which is fantastic. We love that. We love the computer playing up. It makes it all worthwhile when you put a lot of work into it. But it is fine. I know what the problem was, and I've rectified it. So don't worry about that. Team news not quite in yet, but it will be shortly. I don't know why we're so low for views tonight and that other channel's getting a lot more than us. That never happens, so God knows what we've done there. And I've spilt my tea. It's all going off. It's all going off, which is fucking fantastic. But the sound's ready. Let's get Ross on. Oh, tangled up the headphones as well. Hopefully you can all hear Ross because I can't. I don't like these. I don't like this early team news thing that you get with tea everywhere as well. Ross, can you hear me?
How you doing, mate? You alright? Sound like you're having an absolute mare.
Yeah, spilling tea, messing up the audio, but hopefully we're up and running now.
Team news ain't out yet, is it?
No.
No.
We never know. We just never know when the team news is coming out because it's like last time it came out an hour and a quarter before. And then tonight it's not out, so not too sure why that is at the moment, but hopefully it will be out soon.
Gives me a chance to predict what the team news may actually be, actually.
Go for it. Oh, surely Lindelof's going to play. I would expect Matt is going to play as well.
Yeah, I would expect Mkhitaryan to play as well because you kind of got to keep playing him in these games that don't. This game to me doesn't really mean a lot. As far as I'm concerned, we're already through. So I'll probably play Mkhitaryan in the absolute hope that he can find some form out somewhere. But you're right, it's just all the kind of players that have been on the bench for a little while. Yeah, Mata Lindelof. Be interesting to see if Martial starts actually, because I think whoever starts tonight won't start. But out of him and Rashford won't start on Sunday, I believe. Sunday or Saturday, I can't remember. But yeah, I would play Mkhitaryan. And I'd kind of rest Lukaku. I know he needs a goal, so you'd be inclined to play him just to hope that he gets a goal. But it's a needless game. And if he got injured tonight, we'd all be livid.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to everybody on the live comments from last night. And they did it. They give us their comments around who they would play as the number 10. I can comfortably tell you 80% or more went with Mata. So I don't know why we aren't using Mata in that position, but we might see him there tonight. It's the only chance I think we would see of seeing Mata there, is because he did it against Spartak Moscow, didn't he, Ross?
Yeah, it is really strange because sometimes you kind of think the better you play when you get given your chance, the more chance you have of not playing. Because I remember, I don't know if it was the same game, but there was this link up between Martial and Lukaku, and I thought it was really, really obvious how well they played together. And we haven't really seen it since. He got a chance against Huddersfield. He kind of blew that, but I just think that partnership's got so much quality in it, and I think maybe Martial might make Lukaku a better player. So Mata number. Do you know what? Why not play Mata at number 10 and put Mkhitaryan out on the right wing, because you can kind of get away with the bad game on playing on the right. But if you're playing at number 10 and you're having a bad game, it's so obvious for everyone to see. So maybe try swapping them around a bit, because it's so annoying that Mata, if he plays tonight, will probably be playing as a right midfielder, which is just not his position.
No, team news still not quite in. Obviously, they've reverted to the hour before again. Very weird, because last time it wasn't like that. It was like an hour and a quarter before. So the team news isn't in yet. But talking about play, I mean, some people think Luke Shaw will start. I'd be ecstatic to see Luke Shaw start, but I can't see that. I think he'd do well to make the bench, to be honest. This is a game we've got to win. But as bad as Benfica have been, I don't think we should take it for granted. You can't just put the reserves out. That's for the next two games if we win tonight and qualify.
Yeah. I just think that this group's dead, to be honest. I think we've won it at an absolute canter. I don't think we didn't play particularly well against Benfica at all, and we still beat them 1-0, and that's probably the best game they've played all season, so really up for it. But yeah, I think the group's kind of dead and buried, so I would give players like Luke Shaw a chance. But for me, I just think Jose feels like he has an abundance of left backs, and I think Luke Shaw's at the bottom of the picking order. Rightly, it's really interesting. I quite like sort of searching his name on Twitter, Luke Shaw, actually, because about 18 months ago there was 90% of United fans, probably 95, thought that he would be the best left back in the world, even with the injury. Not in the world, sorry, but in the country. And everyone backed him. It's gone a bit 50-50 now. Some people want him in the team. Others are happy just to see him sort of rot and go. So it's an interesting one. I still don't think he's been given a fair chance. So I'm not going to judge him too much.
No, I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw, and I think that he does deserve a chance, and hopefully he will get a chance. But I can't see it tonight. It'd be a really nice bonus. I've got a funny feeling Lukaku will play for a couple of reasons, because he needs goals, and also we need to win this game. But I would like to see Rashford and Martial up front with Mata in behind them. I think that would be really expansive. But I presume he's going to play Matic and Herrera, which I would love Matic to get a rest, but I can't see him getting one.
No, I'd agree. Yeah, why play Matic? He does need a rest, and it's not because of his form that he needs a rest. It's the the more you play consecutively, yeah, he's too good, but you just worry about injuries, even though he's really not an injury-prone player. Kind of the same with Herrera. I'd really love to expect the games like tonight, like Twanzebe tonight, because it winds me up that the players like Twanzebe and everyone, they all get games, but they get it in League Cup games, normally against inferior opposition. Benfica are really decent, and it is a really good chance to let our kind of second team play against really good opposition in a really big game that doesn't really matter if you lose it. That's why I would like to see some fresh faces tonight, because again, I think Jose forgets that if he does that and he loses, he probably won't come under much scrutiny, especially from the United faithful. So that, for me, I just said it like, at the top of my head, but I'd absolutely love to see Twanzebe tonight, because he was so good the other week. And I think he should be pushing into this first team now and getting onto the bench at least over Lindelof. And it's not me hating on Lindelof. I just think that out of the two of them at the minute, if I was playing Chelsea and Phil Jones and Smalling got injured, I'd trust Twanzebe over Lindelof the way it is at the minute.
Yeah. It's another player that I would love to see, but I don't get this. I mean, this happened a lot last season, so all I can do is apologise. The team news for Manchester United for Europa League was always an hour and a quarter before. I thought Champions League was an hour before, and then we got caught on the hop with the last game that it was more than an hour before. It was an hour and 15. So we're on the ball tonight, and it's not out, and we're nearly an hour away from kickoff. So I don't know. Ooh, Cat, can you get me a paper towel, because I've spilt my tea? Thanks. Well, they're not next to me, they're in the kitchen. Thanks. So no team news at the moment is the short one. But yeah, Lindelof, got to play him. Surely, Ross, got to play Lindelof.
Yeah, he played really well against Benfica, his old club, last time they played. I think these Champions League nights suits him a little bit better. It's less physical in the Champions League, more about awareness, and he can probably use his distribution a lot more in games like today. So, yeah, and he'll probably he'll look fantastic tonight. Probably he'll look like the player that we bought. It's his Premier League games he needs to get sorted out quickly, but a lot of people comparing him to Vidic and Evra, and I think it's right, to be honest, because we do forget sometimes how awful they were. I remember watching Evra and thinking that player will never make it in a United shirt, based on his first two games. Turned out to be, Uncle Pat, one of our greatest left backs, I think. So, he will play tonight. If he doesn't, you'll be worried for him, to be honest. But I think, because he's a Jose Mourinho signing, he will get backed. It's the players that were Van Gaal signings that I think Jose was a little bit harsh on.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think as well that he's obviously going to back Lukaku, because even just simple human psychology, it's his signing and he doesn't want him to be a failure. I would agree with that as well. The team news isn't out yet. Luke Shaw was in the video of the players getting off the bus, so hopefully he'll be on the bench. I'd love to see him start. I am a big fan of Luke Shaw's, as many people will know, and I hope he does start. But it's
you kind of feel like being on the bench isn't good enough anymore for Luke Shaw. I don't really want to see him on the bench and then come on for 10 minutes. Well, what? I don't get what he gains from it. So, like you were just saying, I'd love him to start, and if he doesn't start,
I think at home, under the lights of a Champions League game with a 9-point lead, and they've got no points, and he's still going to put a lot of quality out there. I think you can carry a couple of, not kids, but you can carry a couple of experienced players who either need game time or need confidence. So I think tonight, if I was Mourinho, I'd be thinking, I'm playing Luke Shaw, I'm playing Lindelof, and I'm playing Mkhitaryan, and I'm surrounding them with informed players so that they're ready.
That your phone, Mark?
Yeah, it was. It's Flex.
Fantastic. Sorry. No worries. That's why I'm shouting out names like Twanzebe and players like that. I know it sounds stupid, and a lot of people will say, it's the Champions League, it's not the Europa League, but Jose's worked. The team have worked really hard to get this 9 points, and you're now looking at times where you can start resting players in the Champions League. But, he may go strong, and if he does, fair dues. But if we do win tonight, and it is a big if, the last 2 games has to be the kids for me. You can't just waste games in nothing matches, and if we win tonight, we're guaranteed to be through. And I don't know about you, Mark, but first and second in the Champions League group really doesn't bother me, to be honest, because I think you're going to play the best of them regardless. And most years, the better teams all come second, and it's really frustrating because you get no reward from finishing top of your group.
Team news is apparently out, although I always just go off Twitter, official Manchester United Twitter, but apparently the team is out. So if people want to copy it, and the team is out, Mark, says Andrew Hoare. It just amazes me, Manchester United Twitter, the biggest club in the world, and they mess it up so many times, whoever runs it, not getting the team news out quicker than other outlets. Is bloody appalling, but that's social media.
The preliminary team that I've seen has Mata in it, but it also has McTominay in it, which is quite interesting. But no Luke Shaw. No
Luke Shaw. Okay, let's have a look. I don't like giving it out unless it's official. Nothing on BBC. So where's everybody getting it from? And I'll have a look. Lindelof and Shaw subs, says Andrew Hoare, which I don't know. That does surprise me. Why is McTominay starting over Axel? Oh, you know what? I mean, Scott McTominay, I'm sure we'll talk. Anyway, Jason Bowditch, I know I can rely on him. He says that the team news is De Gea, Darmian, Bailly, Smalling, Blind, Matic, McTominay, Mata, Lingard, Martial, Lukaku. I think that's a weird team. I don't know about you, Ross. I think that's a weird team. Why play Matic when Herrera's played less? Why play such an uninspiring back 4? Why play McTominay? I mean, Mata, Lingard, Martial, Lukaku. I think, is it a 3-5-2? Can it be a 3? No, it can't. I don't understand why Mata and Lingard play.
It is well random because Bay's just come back from injury. I thought we even rushed him a little bit for the Chelsea game.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's playing midweek, and we've got Lindelof just waiting there ready to play. I know he was crap against Huddersfield, but you can't judge their whole career off one performance. So for me, he would have played. And you're right, Matic, strange, because when Pogba's back, Herrera's going to be benched anyway, probably. Not that I think that should happen, but that's probably what's going to happen. So he's playing Mata on the right again for me. It will be right or left, and I think he's going to play McTominay down the middle, looking at that team.
Yeah, we finally had it off Twitter, but thanks for everybody who put it in. It is De Gea, Darmian, Bailly, Smalling, Blind, Matic, McTominay, Mata, Lingard, Martial, Lukaku. Subs are Romero, Lindelof, Shaw, Herrera, Mkhitaryan, Young, and Rashford. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about McTominay. Thoughts, Ross? I don't think you've ever given your opinion on him. I mean, he's starting tonight. He does need to rest people in the midfield. I do agree with that, but I don't think we're going to see Pogba at the weekend.
No, we're not. Mate, I don't really have an opinion on McTominay, to be honest. I think it's great that we're promoting another one through. Kind of got the Jesse Lingard feel to it, to be honest. And that's not being derogatory to him, and that's not me saying that I don't think Jesse Lingard should be in the United squad. So I think he's an addition. Jose, obviously, he's picking him for a reason. He must be doing something. I did do a little bit of reading up on him. It was really interesting because sort of 2-3 seasons ago, he was massively out of favour. Even with the youth setup, they thought he was... I think he must have shot up overnight, because what I was reading, he was like 5'5" all the way through his youth days, and he must have just stood in some Miracle Grow or something. So the height's obviously helped him progress. Jose loves his height. But I'll be watching him closely tonight with open eyes, and I hope that he has a good game. He had a good game, obviously, in the League Cup. But again, the opposition wasn't the greatest, so it's a real chance to see what the real McTominay is about tonight. So actually, although it doesn't excite me, it's going to be actually quite interesting to watch him tonight. But it's annoying that Mata's, again, going to be a winger who, he's not going to be able to really dictate the game from that position.
There are, you know what? I mean, Gary Neville said it, I think, in an article, and he was spot on. He said there's going to be a problem with Mourinho and the way he plays in the future. But right now, Manchester United just need a ruthless winner who wins your trophies. And that's pretty much what I said why I like Mourinho, because he will do it. But I said it when we got Mourinho, it will never, ever, ever be a bed of roses, and you will never, ever, ever be totally happy. I think the two things I said is that, one, he won't play the kids. And alright, he's playing McTominay tonight, but he's playing McTominay for one reason, and that's because he's over 6'2". Mourinho loves height. Not a lot of Manchester United fans like height. It's not, you know, height is a long way from the ground where the ball should be played, and Mourinho loves that. And, you know, I look at that team tonight, I think the back four is very uninspiring. Darmian right back, Blind left back, no pace. Smalling and Bay's fine, but Bay probably does need game time. Matic and McTominay, well, obviously, I would have rested Matic tonight. I think it's a risk with a big game at the weekend. McTominay, I'm like Ross, open eyes, let's see what he can do. It's a Champions League game, and he's either going to be good enough for Manchester United or not. I nailed my flag to the mast and said I don't think this lad will have a career better than the Championship. Mourinho obviously thinks otherwise, so let's hope he proves us wrong. Mata probably on the right, Martial on the left, Lukaku up front, Lingard as the number 10. I don't like Lingard as number 10. I don't like Lingard as number 10. But Mkhitaryan, maybe tonight was the time to play Mkhitaryan, like you said, Ross, really, because Mourinho seems adamant that he wants it to work for him, and maybe tonight, under little pressure, was a good place to play him. But you know what? It's Manchester United at home in the Champions League, and I am intrigued by the McTominay selection. Is intriguing because I've always said about Mourinho that he needs to pick his own youngsters. You know, Rashford's not his youngster, Lingard's not his youngster. These were previous managers who brought them in. One thing you can say about McTominay is he was nowhere near the team under Van Gaal. He's Mourinho's youngster. Personally, I think Twansibi's streets ahead. But even last week, he sort of did the whole thing he does with Martial and Fellaini, doesn't he? We all know Martial's way better than Fellaini, but every week he's up Fellaini's arse in the press conference. And last week, Twansibi was head and shoulders man of the match against Swansea. He said Twansibi did well, but struggled, and was full of praise for McTominay. So Mourinho's got his little ways that I think are different, but I still think we'll be very successful under him.
Yeah, I did read that Gary Neville thing, and he was absolutely spot on with it. And yeah, that's kind of what happens. It's interesting, this McTominay, Mourinho's youngster, and yeah, he is. Twansibi kind of, he is and he isn't. I know he gave him his Premier League debut, but he was banging on the door in the Van Gaal era. You're right. McTominay's literally come out of nowhere for me. But yeah, it'll be interesting today. The Jesse Lingard number 10 thing, again, that'll be sort of, the fans will turn on him, and I wouldn't blame Jesse Lingard for that. He's not a number 10, and I actually quite like him out on the right midfield. I mean, I remember, well, that cross to Zlatan last season, I know he hit it on the volley, and there was a little degree in luck, but it was a worldie.
Well, he crossed it to Lukaku, didn't he, at the weekend? The one that hit the post, that was a Lingard cross.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, you're correct.
Natural,
so he's got a really good
cross.
Well. Really good. And again, like I said about Juan Mata, when you're out on the right, you can't dictate the game, and you can go missing and the crowd not really notice. If you go missing in that number 10 position, you are in for it. You cannot hide. You can get lost in that right wing. And for a player that fades in and out of games, which Jesse Lingard's kind of one of them, it's the perfect position for him. But yeah, number 10, I find it strange. The only reason he gets it is because of his movement, but he can use that movement on the right wing, and it would work well. So I hope that that's where he plays tonight. You know, the team lineups are never conclusive. They always line up different, but you can't help but think that. I mean, where's McTominay playing? I don't know who's out. Oh, it's Martial on the left, isn't it? Yeah, it's annoying. It's frustrating.
I think McTominay will play well tonight. I think he's got a lot of protection around him. He's got two very strong centre backs. You know, Smalling's in form. Bay's obviously very good. Matic is probably the form Premier League midfielder in the country at the moment. I think McTominay won't. I don't think he'll drown in that sort of surroundings at Old Trafford, and the crowd will obviously back him as we do. But what does surprise me is that Twansibi was thrown in as a midfielder. And if you remember towards the end of last season, where we sort of gifted points away to Spurs and Arsenal because we focused on the Europa League, and he played Twansibi as a centre midfielder 3 games in a row, and now he doesn't want to do it. I don't understand that. I think that's a bit weird. But look, Mourinho does weird things, but he also wins things. And I think, as I say, short-term fix under Mourinho. As long as he wins the Premier League in the next couple of years, then I can put up with some of the things that I don't necessarily agree with. And I still stand by the fact that being critical of Mourinho's team selections is fine, because that's what football's all about. But being critical of Manchester United is a bit odd, because we are achieving way better than we have done for the last 4 years. We've won the Europa League. We're second in the league. We're going to qualify for the Champions League after winning 4 games in a row tonight. So, you know, I'm all for, you know, looking to improve. But realistically, the results and everything are fantastic. And, you know, what manager ever gets it perfect? But Martial's starting. That's a big positive. A few people are saying, why aren't you talking about Martial starting? Well, I'll throw it to Ross, but for me, quickly, it's because Martial. I'm not going to start having a party and get the streamers out because Martial starts. The reality is, in my mind, he should be starting. He's our best player.
Yeah, he is. Again, we've got McTominay to watch, and we've also got this, what I think is a really good partnership between Lukaku and Martial. So, yeah, we're keeping a keen eye on that. I hope that if he plays well tonight, he can force his way into the starting lineup against Chelsea. But I honestly don't think he can. I think that Rashford is starting against Chelsea, and that's final. And I think I said it on the Sunday show, and I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that we don't have any set piece takers, and Rashford's the only one that can put a cross on a free kick in. So he is getting in ahead of Martial based on that, to be honest. But we all love Martial. We love watching him play. I love his miserable face when he has an occasional smirk. So yeah, he'll destroy Benfica tonight if he's up for it. It is annoying because you never know what Martial turns up. And sometimes you get happy Martial that destroys them. Other times you get miserable Martial. So hopefully we've got the right one tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of effort gone into this Halloween background tonight, and I'm wearing Red Devil horns. So where's all the likes? Get liking the video and subscribe if you are new. But Sander Sager says sick graphics if you were in here, pal. That's not Draughty Devil behind there. Sander, you should know by now. You do That's Football. You should know how easy it is to do this sort of setup. That's not Draughty's graphics behind. That's just something I've nicked off Google and overlaid behind me. But Draughty is great on the graphics, but he's not taking credit for the pumpkins. What was I going to say? Yeah, so tonight we're obviously not doing the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, which we've done for the last 2 games if you include Swansea. To me, it looks like it's a 4-2-3-1 again. Obviously, it's the 4-2-3-1 that we played at Liverpool, and we never turned up. Do you have? I said this a couple of times. I think I said it on the Sunday night show with you. There's nothing from the Spurs game on Saturday that we should fear from Chelsea that would stop us playing the same formation again. 3-5-2 is a must against Chelsea, but tonight we're not playing it. Now that's either because he's trying to play mind games with Conte, or he's getting the team prepared for the formation he wants to play at the weekend. But I think 3-5-2 at the weekend will enhance our chances massively at Chelsea. But I'm worried he's actually going to just go with this one.
Yeah, I think the mind games thing's quite a good point actually, because it doesn't really make sense not to play it. But a little part of me thinks that Jose thinks that when teams are sitting back, this formation that he's picked is the best one. And when teams are actually more equal, that the 3-5-2 is also the best one. But I actually think the 3-5-2 is the more attacking of the formation. I really stand by that. 2 strikers, someone close to Lukaku, I think we have more chance of scoring. And I think if we played that tonight, we would. I know 3 centre-backs sometimes can, when teams are just sitting back, having 3 centre-back surplus to requirements is a bit annoying. But all it takes is to have one ball-playing centre-back just to step up every now and again, if that's what teams are doing. And it's just nice to have that extra security as well when they counter. So for me, going forward, it should be that formation. And I hope he's doing it tonight for mind games, because I honestly think this formation is good if you have the right personnel. And we don't have it, so our team suits the 3-5-2 better.
And what I've not asked you, but what's your thoughts on the game tonight? Obviously, Benfica are rock bottom of the group with 0 points. Surprised me. I thought they'd be the You know, I thought they'd be far better than they are. I mean, to be fair, we only beat them 1-0 at their place, and that was because of goalkeeping error. What's your thoughts on tonight's game, score-wise?
I've actually gone with 3-0, and I know that sounds like I'm being quite hopeful, but I think Benfica are one of the worst teams in the group. I think they're bottom, no points, and they're going to have to come at us a bit tonight. It's not going to be like the repeat. They were desperate for some points at home. They didn't get that, and they've got to come at us tonight, and that's going to be dangerous for them, to be honest. So that's where I'm getting 3-0 from, to be honest. And I had a bet on Mkhitaryan, first goal scorer, so that one's already out of the window. So I'm backing Martial tonight.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm going to go United 2-0 based on the fact that I think it's the problem we may have tonight is we've got the right sort of players in the positions attacking wise with Martial, Mata and Lukaku. I worry about the number 10 again because that's probably Lingard, and I also worry about the back four and the midfield. Are they going to get the ball quick enough to our forwards? Because and also, if Benfica invite us on, with neither of our full backs bomb on. You've not got Valencia bombing on. You've got Darmian. You've not got Ashley Young bombing on. You've got Daley Blind. So a lot is on whether we can produce the balls for Lukaku and Martial to score goals. I don't see 3-0. I think 2-0 might be the ceiling, but you never know. I might get caught out. I might be wrong on that. Nicholas Myers says we need 1,000 likes. So come on, United. 4-0 as long as Mata and Martial aren't subbed at half time, says Kwame. Spelt Mkhitaryan wrong, says Omega plays. Well, if he starts playing well, we'll spell his name right. Arlisto Cat says weak lineup. And don't forget to drop a like on the video, says Kieran Byrne. Evening all, says Red David. Sheree says he would have played Mickey as this is the right game to get his confidence back. Yeah, I think we spoke about that. Not bothered about the fact that we spelled Mkhitaryan wrong because at the end of the day, as soon as he starts playing right, I'll pay more attention to his name. Is Jose saving Lindelof, Twansibi and Shaw for Chelsea? Definitely not. And can't wait to hear the Champions League music, says Andrew Malloy. Mark, although it's good Martial is starting, I don't actually think it is. Jose doesn't trust him in big games and will clearly not play him against Chelsea. Yeah, a few people saying that, Ross, and obviously you said that yourself. I think he'll play Rashford for the simple reason I think he just thinks he gets more out of Rashford in relation to work rate, and I think that in a sentence sums up Jose Mourinho. We've seen it with Fellaini, we've seen it with McTominay tonight, we've seen it countless times with Lingard last season over Martial. Mourinho values work rate over talent.
Yeah, he does. And I think that's correct to do so in certain positions on the pitch. And for a winger, I would go with the talent, to be honest, because wingers are always inherently lazy. The best ones in the world are, if you look at Ronaldo's, the Robins, the Messis, they don't get back. They don't do the dirty work because they're the best. And I think Martial, I'm not putting him in the same bracket as them players, obviously, but he's kind of got that about him. Yeah, he is slightly lazy because he's so damn talented and all his work's going forward. Rashford is more of the complete package. I do get it. Maybe, well, I think it's right. I think we're just biding the time with Martial, to be honest. There will be a point, and I think it may come this season, where he will become completely unplayable. Maybe he's not there just yet. Maybe Jose wants a little bit more out of him, but there will be a point where he will have to play him, and yeah, it's coming soon for me, to be honest, because he's already starting to light up, even in the 10-15 minutes that he's playing.
And also, as well, I mean, a lot. Let's not forget the Chelsea game last year was gone in almost 60 seconds. It was gone very quickly, and I think I don't actually have a problem with Martial not starting because, as we saw at the weekend, and some fans didn't like it. They didn't want Rashford to come off. They wanted Lukaku to come off for Martial because Rashford was playing well. But Martial comes on for Rashford and Rashford comes on for Martial, and it happens around 70 minutes every game. So it's not like Martial's on the bench and he doesn't use him. He always does use him, and there is that advantage as well that whether it's Rashford coming on or Martial coming on, it is a real threat to the opposition with a bit more space. And maybe I mean, somebody was saying last night, Ross, at the end of the day, the weekend game is about not losing. For me, I'm not necessarily sure a draw is a good result. I think we need to win. But I've got to be honest and say, we've put ourselves in this situation because of the approach to Anfield, and more importantly, losing to Huddersfield. Chelsea a draw probably wouldn't be a bad result any season because we haven't got a great record there. And we have to look at it in a season sense that we might be 7 points behind City at the weekend if we draw. But if we can somehow muster a win, I think we've got to go for that. But I don't know whether Mourinho will think that. It's hard. I think he might look at the long game and say, okay, we'll forfeit a bit of space with City and I'll take a point. But I think I'm not scared of Chelsea. That's the thing. And I think if we play like we did against Spurs and we actually play a proper number 10, we can beat them. They're not as good as they think they are, but it's always difficult for us at Stamford Bridge. And I don't know whether they've announced the referee yet, but I think that's massive.
I think you're right, and but I think that's that is the United fan in us, to be honest, because I guarantee, a bit like what Gary Neville was saying, if we get to the end of the season and by some miracle we do win it, Jose Mourinho will come out and talk about the miracle point at Liverpool. He'll talk about a potential miracle point at Chelsea. But we don't want that as United fans. We want to see us going at teams. And for me personally, a point away at Liverpool, I would have rather seen us take it to them because they were weak and I thought we could have turned them over. But that's, again, the United fans in us. And maybe, well, not maybe, we have to. We've built our expectations up around Jose, which is right because he's a winner. But maybe, like you were saying, we've just got to drop our expectation of what he's going to bring. Because I got carried away. I thought Jose was coming into the greatest club in the world and he was going to, be so happy to be here. He was going to change the way he played. It didn't happen, did it? And it's not going to happen. We've got Jose Mourinho. We've got the winner. We've got the siege mentality. And we've got everything we expected. So I think we've just got to relax and let him do his job, to be honest, which, sometimes we're going to... And that's what winds me up. I know you're definitely Jose in, but that's what winds me up with the Jose out campaign, because there's only a few, but when we win 5-6 games in a row, they all like to get on the bandwagon, and it takes one defeat for them to jump on his back, and you can't be like that. You can't celebrate the good times if you're not willing to ride out the hard times. So, and if this is as hard as it gets at the minute, I'll be happy, because I think that once them players come back from injury, we'll be firing on all cylinders again.
I can exclusively tell you who the referee for the Manchester United-Chelsea game is. Michael Oliver is the referee for Manchester City v Arsenal, so we've dodged that bullet. We've got Anthony Taylor, who I know who he is. He's not. It could have been a lot worse. It's not Martin Atkinson, so I'm quite happy with that choice. Really, he's not somebody who's caused me any major problems as a Manchester United referee in games. So yeah, I'm not too fussed with that. I think Michael Oliver or Atkinson, I would have been very worried.
I think they're all, to be honest, mate. I think you'd agree they're all the same. To be honest, I don't think there's a name. It maybe his to a point, but I don't think there's a name that you'd pick out the hat and go, brilliant, we've got him, brilliant, we've got more of a chance now, because it doesn't happen anymore. It used to happen back in the day when we used to have that bold guy on BT Sport. I forget his name now, but yeah, I think all the refs want to, they all want to make themselves a celebrity these days, and the best way to do that is in a Manchester United game, because they know that the majority of fans around the world will be watching that game as opposed to an Arsenal game.
Like Gilday Gaming says, not a clue who that referee is, which means he's probably a good ref. That's the line I go with all the time. If you don't notice the referee, they're doing a good job. Obviously, we had the Gary Neville comments. We've had a few from Paul Scholes tonight. What do you think? The class of '92 are stirring the pot a little bit again, Ross? I said this at the weekend. I think fans have got every right to talk about United because that's what football's all about, and obviously most of the class of '92 are big Manchester United fans. But I also do think that it's odd at the moment the way there is quite a lot of negativity around Mourinho and Manchester United, and whilst I have sort of contributed to that on individual sort of team selections and substitutions, like especially taking Martial and Mata off at half time against Huddersfield, I've not really fallen into the trap of saying negative Jose, parking the bus Jose, because I haven't really seen that. But it is sort of gathering pace amongst the class of 92. Lots of mention of it. What do you think their motivation is to that? Do you think it's just they don't like to see it? Or I suppose I'm not phrasing it well, but I remember specifically saying after the Liverpool game, we didn't park the bus against Liverpool. We didn't park the bus. We did a year ago, but we didn't park the bus against Liverpool. We had a team that could have been more progressive, but Mkhitaryan didn't turn up. And if your number 10 doesn't turn up, you look like you're parking the bus. That's not Mourinho's fault. And then Huddersfield, we didn't park the bus. We made 2 defensive errors. And then Spurs, we played a bloody good team, and it was just a battle. It was hard for either team to get on top. So I don't necessarily agree with the negativity around Mourinho at the moment in relation to the way we're playing football, but maybe you do.
It's going to be really hard to keep Paul Scholes happy, in my opinion. To be honest, he is a miserable man. But a lot of times, I loved him in the Van Gaal era because I thought he was right, and he was the only one in the class of '92 that was actually saying the real diehard, clear-cut things about Louis Van Gaal that everyone else dodged, and it did annoy me.
That's because Giggsy was there, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. And then everyone wanted to protect their mate Giggs, and he didn't really give a flying. Well, I'm not going to say it, but he just needs to rein it in a little bit, just for the time being, because we're playing well. The whole of the class, Gary Neville just got it spot on for me. I know we said it a lot tonight, but he's quite good at analysing certain situations, and that was right. There was a lot of positive in what he said, and there was also a lot of negative in what he said. But the negative will be outweighed by the positive. And we'll have to rebuild again in the future. But we just hope that we'll be in a better position. The board sorts themselves out. We've got good youth set up. And I don't think we will ever be in that position again that we were when Sir Alex passed the team on. Because we had absolutely nothing coming for the youth for quite a long time. And you're looking at the youth nowadays with Angel Gomez and everyone else coming through. And I think our future should be quite secure regardless of who is our coach, unless in that time Jose Mourinho manages to ruin all of them players, which I don't think he will.
No, and I think as well, obviously the United Stand is a fan community channel. We've got daily content, so we're very much involved in football, and there's always something to talk about around Manchester United. But I haven't lost sight of the fact, and I hope a lot of you haven't as well, that we are second in the league. We are Europa Cup champions. We've had one of our best starts to the Premier League ever. He made a mistake against Liverpool. He kept Mkhitaryan on too long, and he made a mistake against Huddersfield, bringing Lindelof on, and wrong substitutions at half time. Apart from that, he's been pretty good. And people still forget that Everton, City's drop points was Everton at home, and look how bad they are. So I'm sure the Man City bubble is going to burst. If I could change something, it's if I look back at this season, Ross, the one result that still frustrates me the most is Stoke. That's where we should have 2 more points. Huddersfield, that's going to happen every 5 years. Newly promoted team, couple of defensive errors. You can't account for it. It shouldn't happen, but it will happen. That football will bite you in the arse like that. Liverpool away, maybe we approached it wrong, but they still didn't beat us. For me, the 2 points I think we should have more was the Stoke game, and that was inexcusable to draw that game. We should have won it, but I still think we're doing really, really well. I think Chelsea's pivotal again. If we win that, I don't think there can be any complaints.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that Stoke game. I was so wound up with how we didn't win. I can't even remember how we conceded the goals. I think I remember Darmian being quite involved, which was Phil Jones, Darmian. It's usual. It's the usual names, isn't it? But that Stoke one is very annoying, very, very annoying. But you've just got to crack on, like you said. They happen. The Huddersfield one, I just won't even register it. It happens to all teams. To be honest, Chelsea did it to Burnley, and they did it at home. So it's going to happen to all the teams, and it will happen to City. And you're right, their bubble will burst. And I think you said it quite a lot, and I agree with it. It will burst when they play us, and we may not win the game, but Pep is so bloody stubborn. He will play his all-out attacking football against us. It'll be, 11 men in our half of the pitch, and Jose will welcome it. He's probably the only coach in the Premier League that we'll play the same formation and the same tactics every game regardless, which for a tactician like Jose is that's his bread and butter, because he knows how to combat that. So and Jose's got 5 formations he can use. He's got various personnel. You never know who he's going to play. So that's the game that I'm most looking forward to, that's in our sort of list of fixtures. Chelsea, I'm not looking forward to it. I just want it out of the way. I don't like Chelsea. I don't like their fans. Don't like their club. We just need to get that out of the way. But this City game is it's a mouth-watering event for me.
I think if we are within 6 points of Manchester City after we've played Arsenal at the Emirates on the first weekend of December, I think we will be topped by Christmas, because they've got us at Old Trafford, then the week after they've got Spurs, and I think Spurs can beat City as well, and I think we can beat them, and then game on. But we could be 10 points off them by that point. It's all about what we do between now and then. We've just got to hang in with 2 results of Man City, and it'll be game on. I'll let you get off, Ross, unless you're all right to carry on.
No, that'd be good. I've got Deliveroo about to turn up in about 2 minutes, mate.
No, all right, okay. You coming on at half time?
Yeah, I'll come on at half time, mate.
All right, mate. Make sure you have some Guinness, and I'll speak to you at half time.
See you at half time. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Ross. Thank you. And you can follow Ross on Twitter at Hazza90, which is at HAZZA90. Really good tweets. And we need 1,000 likes, says Kwame. I forgot about that. 1,000 likes before kickoff is a thing. But half an hour until kickoff for everybody. So I'm going to interact with you lot a little bit. Thanks for everybody who's asking about the tooth. Was at the dentist at 4 o'clock. Was worried it was coming out, but I'm back again at midday tomorrow for the procedure. So shouldn't impact on United Stand content, because I think by about 8 o'clock tomorrow night my mouth will not be numb anymore. I'm going to talk about Luke Shaw in a minute, Paul Robinson. I just want to say as well, Agent Paul's asking about FIFA 18. Big announcement coming up tomorrow around YouTube. FIFA 18, Call of Duty, World at War. There are things happening, but they won't be happening on the United Stand, so keep an eye out tomorrow, probably. It will be tomorrow. I'm also going to do a video on... no, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Do drop a like, subscribe if you're new. We always get a lot of new subscribers on a watch along, so make sure you get involved. Fantastic community, as you can see. They're always here on the live comments. Just want to say as well, thanks to the early squad. I've got your name now. The early squad, basically the stream goes up at least an hour before you go live, and the live comments is there for you all to interact. There's a hardcore early squad who get on about an hour before and just chatting away on the live comments before we even go live. Normally have about 30 or 40 likes as well. So they're the early squad. And I did ask last night, we need a name for all of us collectively. United Standers did quite well. But I think there's got to be something better than that. United Stand Army, I don't know about that. But United Squad, a bit too close to the early squad. But do subscribe. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got match reaction straight after the game. We've got fan cams tonight. Flex is up at Old Trafford. Make sure to go and visit him if you are up there yourself. And yeah, Red Rumours, which is our weekly transfer show, previews, loads going on the United Stand. Lionel says, I hope Lukaku scores against Chelsea. It'll be a slap on Conte's face. Matic as well would be lovely. I think it's good that Lukaku's playing tonight, actually, because if he can score a goal, it gives him a bit of confidence ahead of that Chelsea game. Chad Sproul does not like United Standers. Chad working hard to become a mod. Actually, Chad... He's gone now anyway. The name should be the Outstandings, says George Kyle. That's terrible. Devil Standers, no. United Stand Army, USA, says Smenthy. Like for the early squad, says Iris HHD. The early squad are the hardcore, that's for sure. Since everyone is outstanding. Well, they are, George, you're right. United We Stand? No, we can't really go down that road. It's the name of a fanzine outside Old Trafford and they hate us. Big Benfica crowd here in Gibneys tonight. This is Kieran Byrne. Oh, yeah, I know what you're on about. When is United playing City, says Dodders. Second weekend of December. The first weekend we play Arsenal. Is Mad Marcus coming on? Mad Marcus isn't well tonight, so he won't be on. got a contribution here from Matthew McFadden. Standers, no, it sounds like Sander Sagers and no one wants to be him. I agree. And I've forgotten I had the Red Horns on, Pankaj. Right, like for the Red Horns, that's what I say. The early Devils. The early squad's already got their name. Right, everybody, I know what I'm going to do now. I want to talk about Luke Shaw in a minute, but please, 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 there is a share button, actually. I never do this. There's a share button under your YouTube video. If you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook and it's on your phone or on your desktop, all you've got to do is click share, and then you can just share that link onto Twitter or Facebook. That'd be really appreciated. We never do this, and we do need to do it more. The channel grows because of you lot and the community. It grows by word of mouth, so it's remiss of me not to tell people to share it because it helps the channel grow, and I'm sure you agree that you would like that to keep happening. The bigger the voice of you when you're coming on, when you're on Skype shows. But first of all, this is my favourite part of the watch along. Where are you watching from? And if you want to tell us what time it is as well, then I can be doubly nosy. The United Stand faithful, says Jason Bowditch. So Ross went 3-0. I'm going 2-0. I don't see many goals in the team tonight because I think the defence is quite boring, especially in relation to the fullbacks. And I don't think McTominay's that creative. And Lingard as number 10 worries me. So I think 2-0 will be our ceiling tonight. Just waiting for people to tell us where they're watching from. Wales, says Aliyah Spector. Jamaica, says Samuel. Athens, says Adataman. I can't read that. Ireland, says Lorcan. Netherlands, Bahrain, Ireland, Northampton, Amsterdam, United States, North Korea, I doubt it, London, Oregon, Denmark, Hungary, Ethiopia, Ghana, Portugal, Reading, I love the contrasts, London, Ghana, USA, Nottingham, Hi, Dublin, says Rob, the Netherlands, Colorado, Kenya, South Africa, Canada, Denmark, Uranus, Israel, Trinidad, Stourbridge, Sheffield, Australia, Sheffield, Ireland, India, Monaco, New Zealand, Malaysia, South Africa again, North Carolina, Chesterfield, Portugal, Russia, Ireland, Nepal, Morocco, Malvern, Barbados, Iceland, Sydney, Australia, Woodland, Montreal, Canada, Old Trafford, Portugal, Bangladesh, Trinidad, Stockholm, Indonesia. Actually, I want to give a big shout out to Indonesia because I know we get a lot of people watching from all around the world, but I never see Indonesia that often. But I do know a lot of people from Indonesia watch. So if you are watching from Indonesia, welcome to the United Stand. And all I would say is whether you're Nepal, South Africa, England, America, Europe, Australia, wherever you are part of the United Stand, you are part of the Manchester United community. Just keep spreading the word in your country that you are, because everybody's welcome. And the more people get involved, I think the more people become... One of the things that always stands out to me about the United Stand when people have left comments in the past is that they were Manchester United fans, but the United Stand community and what we do on this show and this channel has made them care and be more passionate about Manchester United. And I think that is the big positive for me, is that we're all Manchester United fans, but with the daily content and the daily interaction and the daily opinion, I think we all care a lot more about our club because of the content that we all do collectively. So keep spreading the word, and you know, the more Manchester United fans that are passionate, the more powerful we are as a club. I truly believe that you are what the fans are, and we've got the best set of fans in the world. So keep getting involved, keep spreading the word, keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing, and we will continue to grow and go far together, because we will never lose sight of that. Loved the Skype show last night, love having you as part of the live comments. We'll never lose sight of the fact that your voice is louder than anybody's, and more important, it is all about fan opinion. And when I talk about the team news tonight, which is De Gea, Darmian, Smalling, Bailly, Blind as a back four, Matic and McTominay, Lingard as a 10, Mata on the right, Martial on the left, Lukaku up front. And we've had those discussions. Why is Lindelof not playing tonight? You know, he needs that confidence in that comfort blanket of home against the team he used to play for. It's a real opportunity for him. Why is McTominay playing over Twansibi? Well, Mourinho likes McTominay. My eyes are wide open, like Ross said. Let's see what McTominay can do. It isn't Swansea away. It's a big game. Let's see what happens. Martial starts, big positive. Luke Shaw. Should we have played Luke Shaw tonight? I think, you know, we're going to win this game tonight. So maybe we could have carried Luke Shaw. Let's hope we see at least half an hour for him. Dan Miola says, New York, as always, United stand supporters should be referred to as the Devil's rejects. So bad the devil won't even have us. Or the Red Mist. Interesting. Red Mist, Halloween. I hope you're all having a good Halloween. If you do celebrate it, wherever you're from. I know it's massive in America. I lived in Ireland for 3 years. Not a lot of people know that. But in Ireland, it's a bit like America. They love it. And to be fair, in the UK, Halloween always existed. But I'd say over the last 3 or 4 years, it started to become a lot more like it was when I lived in Ireland. You know, a lot more people putting their pumpkins out, etc. So, yeah. The scoreline's not even started yet, Ryan. Very happy Martial is starting, so Sly Ninja Gaming. Fresh King says, nice to see a lot of people across the world watch the show. Oh, it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. People are talking about Standing Hard. Oh, the name for you lot. I don't think you want to be called Stand Hard United. It sounds a bit like a group of blokes stood in the shower getting excited. United Posse. United Standards is starting to grow on me. I don't know why, but I do think there's a better name for our community collectively. Chad Sproul says that Halloween is dying, unfortunately. I don't know. Where are you, Chad? Hello from Iceland, says Spill Boomy. It's 3:30 AM in the Philippines. Nice one. Would have liked to have seen more youth players, says Louise O'Donoghue. It's a good point, Louise, but actually if we win tonight, we'll have 12 points. And dependent on other results, we will not only qualify, but we may well be qualified top of the group. With 2 games to go, I certainly think in the last game against Spartak Moscow at home, we'll be qualified, we'll be top of the group. There is no reason to play anybody any good. It's a game that falls directly between Arsenal away and Manchester City at home. I think that game is why tonight's so important, because if we play that game and we play any first teamers, it will be a real big mistake. We really should just play the reserves and everything like that. And it'd be a good opportunity to play some of them. Halloween is celebrated as a death day in Mauritius, and it's tomorrow. Halloween is pointless, says Jack Neville. Yeah, I follow Carrick Fan, if anyone knows who he is, on Twitter, and I tell you what, I think he's gone on a meltdown about Halloween. It started yesterday lunchtime, and nearly every tweet for the last 20 an hour talking about how he hates Halloween. We get the message. I'm at work listening to the United Stand, says Boris Rado. Hello, Boris. Hope work passes quickly for you. The True Devils. I think Matic should get a sub off, says Andrew. We don't want Matic picking up any injuries, to be honest. We really don't. We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff. Lozano's doing very well for PSV. Big fan of Lozano, Irving Lozano. Wanted United to go for him. Another player that you highlight as being a good player. They go to somewhere like a small club like Monaco or PSV or whatever, and they do really well, and then they cost loads of money. Paul Fitzpatrick says we don't want any injuries tonight, which is true. Dan Miola says Shaw is finished. Sandeep says, where is Carrick Fan these days? I don't know. He sometimes used to appear on the live comments, but we've not seen him for a while. Hello from Wales, says Dodders. Pogba, says Ben17. I don't think even Mourinho himself knows what's going on with Pogba at the moment. The Red Wall, says Kieran McCavish. Part-time Devils. Goldie's Little Demons. Nothing with my name in. I'm not like that. Come on Benfica, says Alex the Pro Gamer. 1234. Imagine if Benfica did win tonight. That would be a shock for everybody. Arsenal to beat Man City at the weekend would be fantastic, but don't even begin to get your hopes up. Manchester City will beat Arsenal, and I think they will beat them quite well. They will not get anything. Arsenal, you can put your mortgage on that. They won't. 15 minutes to kick off, and we are 200 likes away from 1,000 likes, which we like to get before kick off. It's a bit of a tradition this season, and we've obviously had a good season, so if you haven't dropped a like, please do that. Just having a quick look around, see what's going on. Mark, can we beat Chelsea? Yes, we can. Ian Shapiro says, "Oh, United, Ian loves you. Time to qualify." Thanks for the contributions tonight from everybody who's made them. Have a feeling Mourinho will say Pogba will miss the game but still play him to surprise them, says Jack Nolan. I do think that if Pogba was going to have any involvement in that Chelsea game, he needed to be at least on the bench tonight. And I'm starting to believe Mourinho's comments that actually maybe he's not going to be involved in this. Maybe he isn't going to be back before the international break. I mean, there's positives and negatives about that. I mean, there's no point playing Pogba if he's not fit against Chelsea, and it doesn't look like he's going to be. If we rush him back, then France will call him up, and then we don't want that. We want him to have another clear 2 weeks. But the trouble is, Chelsea's such a big game. If there's any chance he can play, it could be absolutely massive. No beer on Halloween, Mark, says Boris Rado 1984. Yeah, I am going to pour myself a drink, but I've got no co-host with me tonight, so it's bloody difficult because I've got 2 things I need to do before kick-off, and I've only got me. Get lost. In the nicest possible way, that number is definitely not something I need to be answering. Drawty. Flex. Saving players for Chelsea, which is great, says Unknown Ghost. Yeah, I think Herrera's clearly being rested for the game against Chelsea, and Hazard, isn't he? Do you think we will win versus City, says Dodders? It's a long way away. I'm not really thinking about it, but I do think Mourinho knows how to beat this City side. I mean, City are so bad defensively. You know, I think there's a way of beating them. I do think there's a way of beating them. I think we can win without Pogba against Chelsea, says Unknown Ghost. I do as well. Watford should have beaten them. Should have beaten them. DJM FIFA says, Mark, you make me horny. You need to get out more. Type you porn into Google. You'll see a lot better than me. And they're doing a lot worse than me. Good morning from Australia, says Eric Roberts. Oh, it is the morning there. You can put the monitor there for me if you want. Oh, okay. The young goalkeeper's in goal for Benfica tonight, says Ben 17. How about trying a few different callers while the game is on, Mark, says Lee Thor. Love being up at 6:30 AM to watch United, says Alan. Put the chair on and have a caller Skype in and take over while you grab a beer, says Richard Stainer. If somebody wants to call in, because we are approaching kickoff, it would give me a couple of minutes for you to, if you confidently feel that you can take the floor, you're more than welcome to call in, and I would appreciate that. I mean, we are a community together, and I'm more than happy to put my faith in. You've got to have faith in one of you if you want to call in. Let me just open up Skype, and you can call in and give us your thoughts on the team for a couple of minutes while I still go and set up. I have got a voicemail, the rectifier. Maybe it is Jose Mourinho asking for a little bit of advice. Always willing. Always willing. What do you think the score will be, says Dodders? I'm going to go 2-0. I've got a voicemail here. I mean, this is going to be funny. This is going to be really funny. I bet it's something along the lines of, we thought you had a crash. Could be embarrassing. Yeah. Pre-recorded nonsense. Let's have a look if anyone wants to call in. Here we go. Is that Brevin?
Yeah, that's me.
How you doing, pal?
I'm good, and you?
Good. You're aware of what you're letting yourself in for now?
I hope so.
Yeah, okay. I am. Well, what I want you to do is just talk for a couple of minutes while I just go and set my TV up, and you can give us your thoughts on the team news, and you know, the floor is yours for a couple of minutes on the United Stand. Are you happy to do that for me?
Yeah, cool, no problem.
Okay, I'll leave you with it for a couple of minutes, and I'll get back as quick as I can. But fire away with what your thoughts are on the game and the team, And yeah, that real fan opinion. Go for it, pal.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. All right, everyone. My name's Brevin, obviously. And thanks for this opportunity. With the team news, I think all of you agree. Maybe some don't, but I think McTominay should not be there. I think that's a horrible choice for this specific game. I think I would have liked to see Angel Gomez get a little go, maybe for a bit, even if he was on the bench. I would have liked to start Luke Shaw, because I think Benfica will struggle tonight against us, especially in front of the home fans of Old Trafford. And I think we have the ability to put 4 past Benfica tonight if we are obviously performing well. And yeah, hopefully Lukaku gets a couple of goals. Hopefully Martial can fire in. And hopefully everyone just gels. And I'd also like to see Rashford get a bit of a go. Just get everyone gelling before the Chelsea game. And yeah, I think what's important is that we don't get any injuries today, because I think we really do need our players for Chelsea, because we know Stamford Bridge is a tricky place to go. But I think we can get the job done against Chelsea. I think hopefully Matic has a good game against Chelsea, obviously. Hopefully Herrera once again puts Hazard in his pocket. I think Lukaku also needs to fire against these big teams, and I think he can do it. He just needs help from obviously Mkhitaryan, who's obviously not in form at the moment. And yeah, I mean, hopefully if Mkhitaryan features tonight, he'll get some form in. And yeah, I think tonight is a big game. Hopefully we can qualify. Hopefully other results go our way so that we can finish top. But yeah, I'm positive about tonight, and I'm also positive about Chelsea. And I think also the City game and Arsenal game coming up in December are big ones towards our title. I think honestly, like, we need to beat Arsenal, and the past couple of seasons against Arsenal at the Emirates have not been good. And I think we need to get the results there at the Emirates, because that can be a big game for us. And hopefully City also maybe drop points against Arsenal this weekend, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
But hopefully, yeah, they can do it.
Hello.
But yeah. Hello?
Hi. How did it go?
Hopefully they're giving positive feedback. I've just been mumbling on about our season so far and the team news, and just been saying that I think we can put quite a few past Benfica tonight if the team gels, and hopefully everyone that's out of sorts, like Lukaku and Mkhitaryan, can just find a little bit of form tonight, and hopefully Martial finds a little bit more form after the Tottenham game, and hopefully we all just gel well today.
Brilliant. Well, there's only 4 people left watching, so they hated it now. I'm only joking. There's still loads and loads of people watching, so that's really appreciated. What was your score prediction, Brevin?
I said we can actually put 4 past Benfica, but I'm going to go 3-0, maybe 3-1.
And what's your just out of interest, what were your thoughts on McTominay starting today?
I didn't like it at all. I said I would honestly maybe give... I don't know, is Carrick ready yet?
Apparently he is, but he's not on the bench, so obviously I don't think he's totally ready yet. But I think he's not far off.
But yeah, I don't like McTominay right now. I think maybe when he develops, maybe play him in, like, obviously the low league games when we're cruising, or the Carabao Cup, obviously. But I think in this game specifically, where we need to qualify, just so that we can start playing our younger players in this competition, I don't think McTominay fits this. I think even if we gave, like, I think Herrera a half even, but we can't afford to have an experience in this game, I think, because unless obviously we are cruising through the game, but I just don't think McTominay fits that specific team also. I think he's too slow.
You never know though, you know, like you've been thrown in the deep end tonight, and you've done fantastically well, as everyone in the live comments has said. Maybe it's a metaphor for what's going to happen with McTominay tonight. You know, thrown in at the deep end and does really, really well. Yeah,
hopefully he does. I mean, hopefully even, like, maybe gets a lucky goal. I mean, we never know. But I think if he performs well tonight, it will really lift his chances on getting a few more games, and hopefully he can find form. And yeah, we'll see what he can do tonight against the proper outfit, not like a Swansea B team, obviously.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for calling in, Brevin. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really do appreciate that. And I think we'll have to certainly get you on again. But thanks for calling, and please do call in again.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mark.
No worries. And I really appreciate that. Cheers, pal.
Cheers, thank you.
There you go. Do drop a like on the video for Brevin. That was absolutely fantastic. But I think also what that reiterates to everybody, hopefully, is something you already know anyway, is that the United Stand is your channel, and we will not ever be scared of taking risks and getting people on to have their say, because we believe in you, the United Standers community. And so yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant that you can just go and do that. I did need a couple of minutes to go and do something, and obviously Mad Marcus and a few others couldn't be here tonight, and just go on Skype, hit somebody up, and they can come on and do it. And I think that's the brilliance of this community. So don't ever think that it's not your channel and not for you there. Brilliant, really, not shocked at all. Right, just on McTominay, what I would say about McTominay is I hope he has a good game tonight, but I will stand by until I have been proven wrong. I will stand by the fact that I've made a mistake here. I will be back. I'll still be talking to you, but I've made a big mistake. What I've done is I've put it on my TV, and I've put it on a HD, which you should never do, because if you've got it on HD, it's automatically going to be slower by about 20 seconds, and we don't want that. I want to be as fast as I can for you. So let me just whiz through here and get it on to there we go. Yeah, but on the subject of Scott McTominay, what I was just saying there, the one thing I would say about McTominay that I've been quite consistent about is I don't actually know what he's good at. He does well for United, I would agree with that, but I don't really know what his attribute is that he's really good at. And hopefully tonight we will see about that. We've hit 1,000 likes, by the way, which is fantastic as ever. So thank you for everybody for doing that. I was trying to go tomato. I try to do a bit of South African, but I'm rubbish at it. I know we've got a lot of South Africans watching. Big out to you. Let's get the snaz there working. It's always a bit of a rush when it's just me on my own, but I can do it, and it's good for me to do it because it keeps me on my toes. Champions League music is about to kick in for those who like that. I know a lot of you do. But we are very close to kick off, and lots to be excited about. I'd love, you know what I'd love to do? Somebody just said there, what's your ideal thing that will happen tonight? My ideal thing tonight would be that Martial scores a hat-trick and announces himself yet again on the world stage. That would be absolutely brilliant. Drawty Devil's here. I am a devil after all. Drawty, I'm so pleased you're there. I just want to say, I literally got your message when I'm live there. Glad it's going really well. Massive day for you tomorrow. Really, really big week for Drawty in relation to some projects that he's got working, which is great. Put a lot of work into it. I hope it goes really well for you, pal. Part of the reason why he's not been around that much on the United Stand, hopefully that will change in the coming months. But even if it doesn't, big shout out to him. I know he's got a big week ahead and he'll kill it, absolutely kill it in a good way. Beckhouse says, haha, Peter, evening. We're very close to kick off. McTominay hat-trick. Yeah, for me, I hope Martial just turns up tonight. We got flex. Please, 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 everybody. We will have fan cams coming up tonight, and they'll be going up at about 11 o'clock, so keep an eye out for that. It's a big part of the channel now. You all seem to be buying into it in the fact that you like it. I was never very sure about fan cams, as everybody knows. I'm very honest about it, and I was like, I know somebody else does it, and But I think we're doing it in a different way, and I think there's plenty of room, and they're doing really, really well, and you've really taken Flex on board, which is great, and he's doing a good job. So whatever you do, whether it's later on tonight or in the morning, or that's UK based. If it's Australia, later on in the afternoon, make sure you watch the fan cams and support the channel, because again, it's another opportunity like the Sky at Goldbridge show on a Monday night at 8 o'clock where you lot call in. It's another opportunity. Fan cams has actually probably avoided doing it for too long, because it's a brilliant way to do what we're all about, which is giving you lot a voice. So I'm all for that. Smalling captain tonight. Manchester United need to win tonight. Paul Lucas says, I think Andres Pereira missed his chance by going out on loan. It was his choice, you're right. 2-0 for Manchester United, says King. That's what I'm going with. Great call, but McTominay may play well tonight. Yeah, I hope he does. I hope he does. All I'm saying about McTominay is I don't see how he's a Premier League midfielder. I think that's the nicest thing I can say. I think he's a Championship midfielder, because I don't think he's quick off the ground. I don't think his passing range is that good. I don't think his tackling's that good. I think he's just going to be a good all-round midfielder, but Manchester United need more than a good all-round midfielder. But I tell you what, if I was proved wrong, how nice would that be? Because he is from the youth. He's been there since he was 5 years old. So big game for him. I hope he does really, really well. There is no reason not to, other than I just don't really think he's going to ultimately be good enough. But Benfica have put a weak team out as well, apparently, and we are off. Timer's up and running in the top right-hand corner. It is 0-0, and McTominay's had a very early touch, which is good as well. Louise O'Donoghue will be randomly posting her thoughts in the live comments. Brilliant, Louise. That's exactly what we want to see. And United nearly on the break there. Lingard playing as a number 10. I tell you what, you could have got a ticket to Old Trafford tonight. There's a lot of empty seats. I say a lot. It's not, there's a few. You can see a few, but there's not huge areas like you get at the Etihad. But Mark Bolton says it's going to be a slow and static midfield. I think McTominay's got to get on his heels a bit tonight. One thing we are is a very tall team tonight. Dylan Hogan says, I'm so glad I'm listening to this instead of Robbie Savage. We are here to provide a service. Yes, listening to Robbie Savage is about as interesting as listening to a dying cat. Remember to subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner hologram. Subscribe, get involved with the community. It's a fantastic community, as you can see through the live comments. And if you are new, I think, and you do love football and you do love Manchester United, you've stumbled on a fantastic community of people. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, and obviously for the matches we're live an hour before with team news right the way through till full time. And hopefully we'll have something to talk about in the fan cams and the match reactions later. But United, no surprises in relation to how we've lined up. Lukaku up front, Lingard in behind him, Mata, McTominay, Matic and Martial, and then the back four obviously Blind, Smalling, Bailly and Darmian. But there's a big onus on United tonight, because I think fullback wise it's a bit... Darmian and Blind don't inspire me as much as Ashley Young and Valencia, who are very, very progressive players. So it'd be interesting to see how we do get forward down the flanks, because I think that's always important for United to do that effectively. Corner for Benfica early on. Oh, nearly a goal. Two United players, including Smalling, missing not a very good cross. It was a slow cross, and it fell to a Benfica player. Smalling and Lukaku jumping for it. Oh no, it went off. No, sorry. Bailly and Lukaku jumped for it, and I think Smalling thought one of them was going to get it. Hit his knee and went towards the goal, but there is no way that it was going to get past. Ah man. Lingard's offside. Put through one-on-one. Ball over the top. I think it was a Daley Blind pass. I mean, the one thing Daley Blind does have is a wand of a left foot. Unfortunately, he's got the pace of a snail in a bowl of boiling water. And that isn't cruel because they do eat them in France. I never have. I'll tell you what, I'm loving the backdrop tonight. I was going to change it back, but I quite like it. Something a bit festive. I'm hoping I bet Draughty's gone now, but I want him to bring the Christmas tree back for the Red Rumors set. Good running by Lingard down the left there. Should get a corner. No. Christopher Loucher says, bit disappointed Matic wasn't rested. It is a bit of a risk playing Matic, who's been playing a lot of football recently. Modern Mexican, would it be possible for you to show us the game? Can somebody let him know in the live comments why that can't be done? I mean, technically, very quickly, all live football in the UK, whether it's Champions League on BT or Premier League on BT or Sky, is heavily copyrighted and they pay billions for it. I couldn't even afford to pay 100 quid for it. If we put it up on live on here, we would be shut down, and we do comply with the copyright laws and everything like that because we're a United fan community. So we can't. I'd love to be able to show you the game. But we can't do that. It's not worth the channel being shut down for. So we'll just update you with what's going on. Martial, good run. Oh, it's a shame. He was just about to put Mata in, and he's fouled, and it'll be a yellow card. But really good run by Martial, and it's a yellow card. That's what the crowd want to see. I mean, that is my one criticism of Martial, which, I mean, I love Martial, as everybody knows, and it looks like he's going to take this free kick. Or Mata, two of my favourite players behind a free kick. My one criticism of Martial is that he doesn't take the opportunities when he starts game. He's brilliant off the bench. He needs to do a little bit more. This is a really good position for the free kick. It's more or less about 5 yards off the edge of the box. Martial and Mata right behind it. Or either of those two will do for me. I love them both. Either will do. Roma are beating Chelsea 1-0. Martial over the bar. It's a bit of a shame. I think Mata should have took that, to be honest. We are 7 minutes into the game. If you want to know how far we are into the game, if you look at my left there, look by my left hand, you can see Manchester United 0, Benfica 0. Underneath 0-0, you can see the timer. That will tell you how long the game has been going for. Lance Matteson says, happy Halloween, Mark. Is it Halloween? I never even knew. And Chris Anderson says, do you think De Gea's growing a man bun is him getting ready to move to Madrid? I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying tonight. Thanks everyone who's joined us. I'm enjoying tonight. I think it's a nice relaxing game to sit and watch. And hopefully they're going to put in a good performance. And I think the last watch-along against Spurs, I really enjoyed the result. It was fantastic, but it was a very, very tense game. I think we all felt it. I think tonight we're not as tense, so hopefully the players aren't as tense either, and they can just relax and build a bit of confidence for Chelsea. Long-range effort there from Benfica. De Gea had it covered. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, if you found us. We get a lot of new people when we're doing the watch-alongs. Fantastic community you've found. Daily content on the United Stand, always live. Live comments are always there as well. We're doing great, says Akwasi. I think it's a weakened Benfica side, but there's a lot of space there, and I think that will play into the hands of people like Martial and Lingard and Mata, which is great. In fact, Martial's got a bit of space here. Suddenly got 4 players around him. And he's lost it. And give me a foul away. Alliance boss with the biggest myth in football. Daley Blind should be playing in the midfield. Some people will never stop saying it. He's not a midfielder for me. It's Rashford's birthday today, Mark, says Condaka. Yeah, he's just turned 20, hasn't he? Only 20. He was only 20 years old. He was only 20 years old. He was only 20 years old. Trying to do Michael Caine badly. Yeah, McTominay's one to keep an eye out, everybody. Don't forget. What United jerseys do you have, Mark? I haven't got any current ones. I've got... The most recent United jersey I've got is the one that Rooney had when he started, the Vodafone. But the most recent United top in our house is the black one, which my little daughter wears. But I don't buy shirts anymore. I really do like the black one, and I have liked a lot of United tops over the years, but I'm too old for it now. I prefer the tracksuits, of which I've got a new one on order actually. I'm hoping to debut that on the Chelsea game at the weekend. Really like it. I like the tracksuit tops, but I always wear this one, and I do need a new one. I've got a white one, but it doesn't go well with the lighting. You're only supposed to do the bloody commentary, Mark, said Andrew Hall. That was good. That was good. You inspired me there, Andrew Hall. That was good. You're only supposed to... One hit wonder. Benfica on the attack. McTominay with the mistake. Ref says it's not a foul, and we play on with Bailly. I don't know what Bailly's up to there. You got no fans, you got no ground. The Wealdstone Raider, remember him? Beck has ordered her new one that she's getting for Christmas. Manchester's grey kit looks nice. It's just, you know what? I didn't like the boring grey kit, but actually I don't mind it so much now. But the black one, I love the black one from the first time I saw it in Sports Direct in the summer, and it is a lovely top. If there's a top that befits me, it's the black one. I would look gorgeous in it, but I just don't wear them anymore. Plus tracksuits, you can wear them all year round. Here we go. Darmian's down the right. If you want some, I'll get you. Matthew McFadden. Can you hire some strippers for the United Stand fans, please, says Swazi. Yeah, we'll do it at the Christmas party. Now, this is an interesting one. Marcus mentioned this to me. He said, Christmas party. Obviously, we're having a Christmas party, some of the United Stand people who do it. But he said you should do a Christmas party live on the United Stand, which I think is quite a nice thing to do, because it could work. Just a few drinks and everybody together talking about United and everything, and that. I think it might be a bit of a laugh. If people think that's a good idea, we can do that. Anyway, there is a football match going on. Loving the horns, says Anatha. Jim, I am horny. What's going on, says Bryn. Benfica on the attack, in down the left, and Bay's just blocked a cross. Ibrahim wants to shout me out. Any new subscribers can have a shout out, so if you have subscribed new tonight, then do let us know and I'll try and shout some of you out. Manchester United need to wake up, Alex Bork. Yeah, Benfica are moving the ball around quite nicely. They're in down the left here, and Eric Bay's just about put somebody into the crowd. But it's a goal kick to United. Where can I watch it online, guys? Says George Chej. I'll bring a few beers, says Red David. Sounds good to me, says Bradley Martin. Loving the backdrop, Mark, says Damien Hosty. Tony Marshall, says Mohammed. Horny Devils, says Subflux Gaming Channel. I'm a new subscriber, says Beck Howell. There you go, there's your shout out. Mahur H has subbed, well done. Roma are beating Chelsea 1-0, that'd be good for us. Martial into the box. Oh, he's given a penalty. Martial on foul, penalty. Martial causing problems again. Penalty. You just can't deal with him. Well, I hope Martial takes it because he's brilliant at penalties. Yes, this is 1-0. I'm already going to start tweeting it. He's missed it! Oh, Martial's missed it. I can't believe it. Well, Mr. Cool. And Smalling from the resulting corner. It wasn't a very good penalty. It wasn't a very good penalty. It was too... he scraped it along the ground. Oh. Somebody just said Mourinho will be loving it. But the keeper's about half... Oh, that... Why do you have a second linesman there or a second referee? The keeper was about nearly on his 6-yard box. Nearly on his 6-yard box. So the angle is closed down ridiculously. Look at you, you cheeky little... You cheating little cretin. Hope you fall in the goal with the ball again. Ugh. Rob Tower says it was a shocking penalty. It wasn't the best penalty, but the keeper was 2 yards off his line, says Playlist Account, which I agree. Referees never do anything about that. Never do anything about that. But apart from the penalty, I think Martial started off quite well. James Hamilton says it's justice because Benfica deserved the penalty. I hope that means Martial's not being taken off penalties now. Ryan Savage, you're drunk. He says, why didn't he just give it to Lukaku? Because Lukaku's not a good finisher. Martial is. In a technical way. And as George Kyle says, no one actually scores all their penalties. They don't. Anyway, I think it's quite a good game. Benfica have given it a good go. Nice little slipped ball through there into the box. Didn't get his shot away. I think playing McTominay and Lingard has been quite a good leveller in this game because you know, we're not as pumped as we were on Saturday, but there's a nice little bit of space in the game as well. I would keep getting the ball to Martial. And a very good point from Trace Bell. People being critical of Martial forget the fact that he won the penalty. Exactly. And Lidder, I agree with you. Don't worry. Martial will score later. Benfica on the attack here at the moment. Don't forget to, if you are new to the United Stand, subscribe through the hologram in the bottom right hand corner and get involved with the community. We're live every night at 8 o'clock with the live comments up as well. We've got Skype shows like we did last night on Monday Night Live. Benfica with a shot. Ooh, good save. It was going for the top corner and De Gea made it look easy with a one-hand save, putting it around for a corner, but it was a decent shot. Cut in from the right, let one go. And De Gea makes that look easier than it actually was. It was going towards the top corner. And De Gea at full stretch, palming it away with a strong hand. Good save, De Gea. So 0-0. Moonwalker says, De Gea, what a save. There's only one De Gea. I'm with you, Kwame. I think that save just looks routine for De Gea. But actually, if it was anybody else, they'd be like world class. It was a good save. Corner for Benfica. and it's a poor one, and Blind will scuff it instead of clearing it. Smalling seems to be everywhere at the moment. Probably because he's captain. Benfica are having a lot of the ball. Alan Margibanks. Unknown Ghost has just subscribed to the channel. Thanks for that, Unknown Ghost. So, an eventful 20 minutes. Bailly losing the ball in the midfield. I think it's quite an open game. I'd love to know. I know exactly why it's an open game, but I'd love to. McTominay just got megged there. Offside, Benfica. I know exactly why. Tefere says McTominay looks lost off the ball, just like Mickey does, leaving huge holes down the middle of the pitch. Well, you've just exposed why I know why United aren't playing that well at the moment. We're quite weak in the midfield. George Kyle says your door hasn't rung once for trick or treaters. I live in a mansion, mate. I'm in the back section of the house. It's I don't hear the door ringing. I'm only joking. We've had a couple. Personally, I don't think that was a penalty, says Nathan Harper. What's happening to the right wing, says Gerald. Is that in a political sense or United's right wing? Neither's doing well. They have some skillful players in that. Well, that's a good point, Kwame, but ultimately, even though Portugal is a bit of a pub league, technically their players are better than they are in the Premier League. I think Lingard's injured. He banged his hip about 5 minutes ago. He's just gone to make a run, and I don't think he's good. He's not bringing Rashford on. I wouldn't bring Rashford on anyway. And in fairness to Lingard, he's not the sort of player who goes down injured. Looks like it might be. He might just jolted his back, or I don't know. It was quite innocuous, but he seems to have like done something to his back, which I wouldn't imagine is going to be long term, but it's obviously just giving him a little bit of jip. Although he might have just caught. I don't know what he did. No, he's just having a bit of spray, so sort of on his hip. So hopefully he'll be all right. Omar Suarez says, thanks for the contribution, Omar. He says, we don't play as if we've got wingers, just Lukaku. Sporting are beating Juventus, says Alex Bork. They've had a good. Their game last time was quite good as well, wasn't it? Lingard's back on, so that's good news. And he's already back on anyway, playlist account, so it's looking all right. Mkhitaryan's warming up, which I think is a positive. Actually, I wouldn't have brought Rashford on. Mkhitaryan. I'm surprised Mkhitaryan's not starting this game, because Mourinho obviously likes him, and it's a good game for him to get some confidence, because there's a lot of space. Mata. That's got to be a pen. Oh, I thought that was a penalty on Mata. Just don't think he wants to give 2 penalties. It's already midnight in Mauritius. Yellow card here for United player, just chopped a Benfica player down, funnily enough, and it was Bay who got the yellow card. But I actually think if the Martial penalty was dubious, I'm hoping they're going to show the Mata one again, because I thought, well, no, they're showing the foul on Bay, the foul Bay did. But here's the Mata one. I think this is a penalty. I can see why the referee didn't give it, because he's already given us one. But actually, if that was in it on its own, that probably is a penalty. It's late in Ireland, says the Doc. So still 0-0. United have missed the penalty in this game. That's the big news. I've quite enjoyed the game. I think it's been quite equal. Remember, we will have fan cams going up tonight. Flex is up at the game, so there will be fan cams going up. They'll probably get up at about any time from 11 o'clock tonight. So a lot of fans there. I think it's great. I think it's great. The one thing I've really enjoyed about the fan cams so far is the different opinions you get from people who are watching it on the TV to the people who are watching it in the ground. There was obviously quite a lot of people critical on the fan cams after the Spurs game, but very happy with the result. But the players they thought played well and the players they didn't was really interesting. McTominay getting a bit of a nosebleed there. Won the ball well, but then oh, he's been done again. Because he's so tall, isn't it? He does get nutmegged a lot, McTominay. Well done, Tony. Raggy says, if we win, we are surely qualified for the next round. Jay Harrod, yes, their keeper did save the penalty. And Red David says, Mark, we're off to Dublin at the weekend. Where's a good place to watch the match? Oh, it's been so long since I went to Old Trafford. Sorry, Dublin. But there's loads of pubs. Depends if I can see your comment. Tell me whereabouts in Dublin you're going. South side, north side of the Liffey. But you'll be spoilt for choice. There'll be loads and loads of pubs you can watch it in. McTurkles is good. McTurkles is good. Break for the Border. I don't know whether it's called that anymore, but that's good. Hairy Lemon, yeah. Lovely little flick by Martial to Blind. And what's Daily Blind doing there? Get out. Unknown Lingard is going off. Well, no, he's back on again. That was from before. I booked him. So the referee booked Lingard for coming back on without him saying. Daily Blind's down injured now. Oh, Temple Bar. No. Temple Bar in Dublin is like... It's like buying a white Christmas tree at Christmas instead of a real one. It is fake. It's not... Dublin is not Temple Bar. Dublin, if you live in Ireland, you don't go to Temple Bar because Temple Bar is just for tourists. It's not the real island. There's bloody millions of pubs in Dublin. Don't go to Temple Bar. It's gimmick. It's not real island. Blind's holding his face. Ansi Pants, I agree with you. The running Lukaku does off the ball is fantastic. Although Andrew Ellis says, what's Lukaku done apart from going missing? I think what Lukaku does off the ball is fantastic. I do agree. Swazi Hawk, I don't know what sort of question that is. No. Beck Howell's got a white Christmas tree. Oh, I'm in trouble. Well, the game's flying by. I'll say that. Tony Martial. Oh, pass 1, pass 2. He's causing him a lot of trouble, but he's having 2 or 3 players on him all the time. It's a very physical game, this. And the referee likes his cards. Swords is decent for a drink, says Jim Jemison. Yeah, as is Malahide, my hometown. George Kyle, you're quick on the draw. I was just about to do live, man. And McTominay, what are you doing? Lingard looks alright anyway, that's a positive. Juan Mata says, shh, please don't let Mourinho know that I'm sending you super chats during the game. I like bullfights. It could well be the real Juan Mata. I've just seen him running past there and he's looking bored. Wasted on the right wing, Mata. Should be number 10. Talking to the man, here he is. Finds Matic. To Lingard, turn, run, good. Out to Lukaku, good. I like this build-up play. Now Lukaku, you've got to get onto your left foot somehow. Oh, good shot, good save, keeper. Well done. Good play by Lukaku, that. Created a shot out of nothing from the edge of the box and forced a save from the keeper. Pog boom, unlucky Lukaku. Manchester United Red says Lingard is awful. He's good there. He's been fed the ball by Matic. He's turned and he's ran into space and he's played a forward pass. He doesn't always do that. Jack Nolan says McTominay's been decent. He's been okay. Couple of bad things, couple of good things. He's a young lad, isn't he? Playing in a Champions League game. You've got to give him some leeway. Yeah, I agree. Stefan Clare says, should we be playing better fullbacks than Darmian and Blind? Yes. But at the moment, do we have better options? I think it's totally right. You know, you think about all the running Valencia and Young did against Spurs. It's brilliant that we've been able to give them a rest. Mata missed a pass there to Martial. Here is Martial. Cross. Lukaku. Oh, over the bar. Good play. Again, Martial involved. Again, good chance. I know he's missed the penalty, but for me, I think Martial's been our best player this half because everything's happened there. Cobb Ross Aitken says, we've got no right wing or number 10. It's all on Martial too much. Thanks for the contribution there. And Matthew McFadden, thank you. He says, Mark, what's your ideal choice of pub grub? I'm a steak pie or chicken burger guy myself with some kind of soft drink because I don't drink alcohol. Me neither. I don't drink alcohol. Pub grub. I'll have to have a think on that one, Matthew. George Kyle likes a good bang. Oh no, bangers. Bangers and mash or fish and chips. Suman, you're right. Mata missed the first time through ball to Martial there. Playing on the last man. Too slow again. We need to play quicker ball to people like Martial and Rashford. In all seriousness, as much as we're all a bit relaxed in this game, we do need to win it. You know, you've got to win your home games in the Champions League, and we want to finish top of the group. And Basel are doing well, and I don't know what they're doing in their result at the moment. But Andrew Hort says rubbish, and Lingard has been anonymous. Basel are 0-0 against Moscow, but they're at home. We really need Basel not to win, really, if we're not going to win. But long time to go. Long time to go. Chelsea are losing 1-0 to Roma, which is good news. Good news. Good news. And in relation to Chelsea's group, interesting group, Chelsea's group, because Atletico Madrid need to win. Be bloody good if Roma beat them. Chelsea's team, for everybody who wants to know it, Hazard's playing for them. It's pretty much their strongest team. Morata, Pedro, Alonso, Bakayoko, Fabregas, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Luis, Cahill. Kante is meant to be back for the weekend. I don't know. Pub grub. I'm still thinking. I like a good pie. Steak and ale. But at my local pub, it's a bit of it's a nice pub. It's not a beef eater. It's a good pub, and they do a trio of pork with a potato rosti, and it's like belly of pork, cheek of pork, and something else of pork. Lukaku, Mata, corner ball. He's giving a goal kick. He's having a laugh. Chicken Madras, says Ryan T. Kieran Burns says, and Gibneys, everyone has heard of Mark Goldbridge. We've already said that me and Ross, because Ross has a pint of Guinness before every United game this season. That reminds me, there's Tottenham versus Real Madrid tomorrow night. There's a watch along on That's Football for that. If United win the league, we're doing a United stand in Dublin. I'm going to set the date, just so people, if they want to come over from wherever you live, you can go. We're going to have it in a pub. It's going to be a good day or evening. But United have got to win the league, really. Or I might just do it anyway. Kieran, does Mourinho look happy on the touchline? I doubt it. He never looks happy, does he? They haven't shown much of Mourinho, to be fair. Martial retaining possession again there. Basel are winning 1-0. That's not good for us. Because we've got to go to Basel, haven't we? Did we win in Basel? Or have we beaten Basel at home? No, we haven't. We've got to go to Basel, haven't we? Because we've got Moscow at home last game, and this is at home, so. 10 minutes to half time. Benfica on the attack. Blocked by Matic. Finds McTominay. Poor pass, but drew the foul. Samuel says McTominay loses every aerial battle. Chinese is the best takeaway, 100%. Chad Sproul. Yeah, I do like a good Chinese takeaway, but as George Kyle says, fish and chips. And I think it's all about how you feel, because sometimes I really want an Indian, sometimes I want fish and chips, and sometimes I really want a Chinese. But very lucky, our Chinese is very good. I drive to get it, because the delivery ones are rubbish around me. I drive quite far to get our Chinese, but it's well worth it. It's a lovely Chinese. Benfica on the attack. And intercepted by McTominay. And he's running with the ball, and then he passes without even looking. Oh, stop being nervous, McTominay. We need a proper number 10, says Laurie Blackburn. Yeah, I think we do. There's Martial on the run again, into the box. Oh, unlucky. Brilliant run. Most dangerous player on the pitch. Cutting in from the left. Past two. They don't go near him. And he just overrun it, which was a shame. But 3 players on toast. Such a shame. Good run. I agree with you, Sam X. We do have Mata, who should be our number 10. But for whatever reason, Mourinho doesn't want to play him. And McTominay loses another aerial duel. For somebody who's 6'4", he wins absolutely no aerial duels. I must take a note of that. I'll take notes during the game for the match reaction in case I forget. Lee Darcy, Mark, I was on the fan cam with Flex for the Spurs game. That's me on that fan cam video thumbnail. Shout out to my man Flex. We need to improve in the second half here. Nice one, Lee. Nice to put a name to a face. And really good. I thought the fan cams were brilliant at the weekend. Jose Castro is dressing as Mark Goldbridge for Halloween. And Mark's chair has made a contribution. He says, screw Benfica. I want to go trick-or-treating. Just think if Matic got an injury, says Warren Store. I'm going to go, to be honest, at half time when Ross comes on, I'm going to go and nick some of the kids' sweets because they're in bed. Chelsea are 2-0 down. Good. I really don't think Chelsea are that good. Mata's come, to be fair, Mata has come into the number 10 position now and Lingard's gone out to the right. So, you know, we can't keep moaning about Mata because he actually is playing in that position at the moment. So let's see if it makes any difference. What's wrong with Atletico Madrid? Says Arcadas. Exactly, they're in Chelsea's group. You'd expect them to get through. And I don't know. I mean, Griezmann's not having a very good season. I just wonder whether Griezmann's head was in Manchester United and he stayed through loyalty, but he just can't get up for it. Because football's about fine margins, and I just don't know whether Griezmann's head was really in Madrid, but he stayed there through sort of loyalty. Come on, switch it. Switch it. Azpilicueta's injured for Chelsea, apparently. And Atletico Madrid are losing to Carriabag. Dear, dear. At home as well. Pogboom, McTominay's doing well. He is typical youth player, sorry, typical young lad performance really. Bit shaky the first half an hour, some good, some bad. But as the game goes on, you grow in confidence. Here's Lukaku. To Martial with a bit of space. Don't shoot, Tony, over the bar. See, this is the problem with Martial. He's been really, really good, but the final product's just not there today. I don't think he should shoot from there either. Snaps has just come back. Yeah, it's still 0-0, mate. Mata into Lingard. To Darmian. Oh. Still got it. Don't know what he's doing there. He had an easy ball to McTominay. So, we're 3 minutes away from half time. Blind on the left. I think at some point we'll grind our way through this and probably nick it 1-0 again. Right, Martial with a bit of space. Corner ball. I think he refused the cross there for some reason. We're a bit of a one-man team in relation to the attack, to be honest, at the moment. Mourinho. I've just seen my first shot of Mourinho. So if somebody was asking what's Mourinho look like, I'd say he looks like Jose Mourinho looks. Pretty unhappy. But 2-0 to Chelsea. Sorry, 2-0 to Roma. El Shaarawy with both goals for Roma. And I mean, the thing about when I look about Roma, there's a United player gone down injured here, and it's not Mata, thank God. I think it might be Darmian, or it might be McTominay. Matic is going to hit it. Oh, he's hit it! Yes! Get in! Yes! Get in! Matic hits it, hits the post, goes in off the goalkeeper, and it's been given. Get in! Get in! 1-0 United. He hit it from range, and that is brilliant for Matic. Gets his first goal. A rocket. An absolute rocket. Just watching it back now. That's what Matic can do. Absolutely brilliant. Low, hits the post, hits the keeper, goes in. Have it. Have it. Lovely goal. Opens his account for United. 1-0. Can't complain. I did say that a minute ago though, didn't I? I did say that United will probably grind this out 1-0. And much the same as the game in Benfica, really. Keeper will feel a bit unlucky in both these games. Luckily, referee has played on because McTominay got absolutely poleaxed. But I'm glad, in a way. Nice little assist from the lad there. Because if the ref had pulled that back, we wouldn't have seen the goal from... He got absolutely squashed, poor lad. But fair play to the ref for playing on because it was a foul. But we played on. We're 1-0 up. We're 1-0 up. And it's a good goal. And tonight is just about getting a 3 points. Let's be serious. But and the big positive, of course, is Matic has opened up his account for United. And it was a howitzer. Rocket shot. Yes, I'm happy with that. Happy with Matic opening up his account. It'll go down as an own goal, says Zartaj. Oh yeah, of course it will. Yeah, it's the post comes in off the keeper, doesn't it? So do I respect Liverpool? Says the Doc. No, Lukaku's in here though. Could be 2. Get it away. Get it away. Oh. Corner. He's got to be scoring that. Alex Bork says Lukaku poor. It's a pass back and he's in one-on-one. He's got a couple of players next to him, but he's all on his right foot. And Martial would have buried that, says Pogboom. That's the difference. Clinical finishing. It's an own goal against Matic, technically. So we'll finish the half with a corner here. Daley Blind to take it. But 1-0 from United. And the ref blows the half. And I think Mourinho will be very happy with that. Yeah, give us your thoughts, of course. And because mine are, to be honest, 1-0. I sort of expected it. I didn't think it was a great half from United, but not a bad half. Brandon Johnson says McTominay's not good enough. People are just getting carried away with effort again. Benfica is winning the midfield battle, says Kessie Frontin. Lukaku with another assist, says Pogboom. Good, that's 3 in a row. Matic deserved his first goal, says Ryan C. Well, he isn't going to get it. It's going to be an own goal. Magic used to play for Benfica, says Jason Jones. Our style doesn't suit Lukaku. Icardi next summer for me, says Andrew Ellis. 2000 likes, says Edward Spencer. Quality strike by Matic. They were the better team, says Playlist Account. Yawn, 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 said somebody else. First 20 minutes, then we got into it. I mean, I personally think we apart from Matic has obviously created the goal, I think we're a one-man team in that half. Again, we've got no number 10. I think Lingard's done okay, but it's not good enough for a Manchester. I mean, that performance from Lingard, he should be out on the wing. You can't have that performance from the number 10. The number 10 is such an important position. That's not good enough from Lingard. He wasn't terrible, but it's not good enough. I think Martial's been the one spark in the team. I know he missed the penalty, but he created it himself. He's had 3 or 4 good runs. I mean, Martial just looks streets ahead of anybody else. But Mourinho probably won't rate that performance from Martial because he didn't score the penalty. But for me, he was head and shoulders above anybody on that pitch. Absolutely fantastic from Martial. Ross is with me. What was your thoughts on the half, Ross?
It's quite entertaining for the neutral, but I don't think United were fantastic. I think, one-man team says it all, really. One player on that pitch that was fantastic. But, do you know what? There were some good performances all round, to be honest. It was annoying to see Martial miss that penalty, actually, because he will be off penalty duties now. He was always nailed on penalty taker. Now we're kind of looking at the next one. So, he was electric. But I agree with what you were saying. It kind of worries me because Mourinho might not rate that performance, because I know Mourinho doesn't like ticky-tacky sort of runs with no end product, and there's been a lot of that from Martial.
Yeah.
We love it. The fans love it. It's throwing them completely off, but will Jose love it? I'm not so sure, and it worries me.
I love it because you get so many different opinions. Like Andrew Thompson says Lingard rubbish, but then we've had somebody say Lingard was brilliant. Siraj says McTominay was rubbish. Pogboom says McTominay impressed me. So I don't think Lingard was rubbish. I just think as a number 10 you need more. He should be, that performance is okay if he's playing out on the right, but as a number 10 it's not enough. McTominay,
I think just to jump in there, I think compared to what Mkhitaryan's been doing as of late, he looked brilliant because he could string a couple of passes together. But I agree with what you're saying. He's not number 10 going forward.
McTominay, I think it was an okay. I personally think he did okay. I'm not going to say he was brilliant because that would be a lie. He gets nutmegged a lot. His passing was a bit negative at times, but he did some good things as well. So I would say, for a 20-year-old playing in the Champions League, he did okay. I'm not going to get carried away and said he was brilliant. I don't agree with him being garbage either, but I don't know what your thoughts were.
I think he looks quite comfortable in the United in the Champions League game. I think, like you say, he's 20 years old. You've got to tilt your hat off to him. He hasn't set the world alight, but he hasn't looked out of place either. So, I think it's been a good game from him, to be honest, and hopefully it's a good...
Hello?
Hello?
All right, I thought I'd lost you there. McTominay's dividing opinion, which is fine. That's what it's all about. United turning into a snooze team. God help us, says Omar Suarez. What I find interesting about McTominay, one negative I would say, is that he's 6'4", and that's why Mourinho likes him. But he can't win an aerial duel to save his life. He's rubbish in the air. But we need wingers, says Louise O'Donoghue. Well, we've certainly got one in Martial. I thought he was fantastic. I've got to pop away for 1 minute, Ross. Give us your thoughts on Lukaku. Again, he's another one dividing opinion again. And what changes you'd make in the second half, if any?
Lukaku has had really moments in half. I think some of his flick-ons have been fantastic. He's not doing enough, though, for me. Forget the one-on-one chance. I think he should have done better. It wasn't really one-on-one, but he should have done better. But forgetting that, I'm talking about his overall striker play. He can do what we want him to do, which is to win aerial battles and hold the ball up. I just think he's not doing enough of it. He's doing bits of it, and he it's a fantastic assist against Tottenham, and he did some little downs to Juan Mata in that first half, but there was also an equal amount of chance that he kind of wasn't really anywhere near it, or his first touch let him down. So we just need to see a little bit more from him, but look, he's got the talent to do it. I back him to turn it around. I think he's just in a bit of a, going for a bit of a bad patch at the minute, but when he first started for us, he was fantastic. Second half, I'd probably look to bring Mkhitaryan on, to be honest, just to build him up some confidence, because even though I've been absolutely bashing him these last few weeks, and I think rightly so, I think a lot of people have, he's still probably our most creative number 10, and we need to get him some confidence, because I think going forward we need a firing Mkhitaryan. So if we get that, it'd be fantastic. So I'd bring him on. And yeah, just hope that he can bolster the attack. But I have to say, it'd be nice to see Rashford on at some point, and not for Anthony Martial. I really think we should just try half an hour in this game with both of them on the pitch supporting Lukaku, because we haven't really seen it at all this season. So yeah, Mkhitaryan for possibly Lingard for me, and maybe Mata for Rashford. Not because Mata's played bad, I think he's been really good, but just to see a little bit of Rashford, Lukaku and Martial.
Yeah. A lot of people giving Martial man of the match, which I totally agree with that. I mean, in all honesty...
I'd give man of the match to their keeper, mate.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a mare against us, isn't he, at the end of the day? 2 games and 2 big mistakes, although the second one was hardly his fault. But I said it about 3 or 4 minutes before we scored, as you know, we've not been good tonight, but a bit like the game in Benfica, you just got that feeling that United are going to grind the result out. And, you know, I know you went 3-0, I said 2-0. I don't see many goals in us, but you never know, the second half might open up a little bit more. Probably a penalty to Benfica in the first half, to be honest. Eric Bay there, just seeing that back. But yeah, we're not. Again, we were talking about it in the hour before the game about the criticism about the way United play. I think it's a. I don't know who's driving the agenda. Well, I do. It's the press, isn't it? And obviously, we were talking about some of the class of '92 going on about it. I just don't think any other club in the world would be second in their domestic league and from 6th, and you know, genuine Premier League contenders and European League Cup winners. I just don't think, what a run it was by Martial to get the penalty, by the way. I don't know why we're going on about the way we play, so, like it's like the end of the world. We're not, you know, Martial's made some great runs today. Is that not seen as a positive of the way we're playing as well? You know, that Mourinho has chosen to pick him, and he's been, you know, absolutely sensational. So, and we are playing Scott McTominay, who was never going to come into this game and be, you know, the next Roy Keane, and Lingard's never going to be the next Zidane as number 10. There are reasons why we are going to struggle, but these are the games to play those sort of players. So we're 1-0 up, and as long as we win this game, to be honest, I'll park it and focus on the more important game, which is Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fans want. Would they rather? Yeah, I mean, would they rather us, you know, win this game 5-6-0? Everyone put in 100% effort, and everyone would be absolutely bloody knackered for Chelsea. No, I'd rather watch United win this and at an absolute canter. We did the other leg of this game at a canter, and Jose was right in his post-match analysis of that game, where he said, we were in control the whole time, we weren't playing well, but we always knew we were going to win. And like you say, it's exactly the same with this game. You just knew that if Benfica did lock a goal in, we could probably quite easily score 2. So there's not huge amounts of effort going in from 10 players on that pitch, but one person is absolutely fighting for his starting spot in this team, and it's Martial. He really is going for it, and it's brilliant to see. And the crowd's up. I haven't seen that at Old Trafford for a long time, when a player gets the ball and then the crowd's on their feet regardless. And Martial's doing that for the crowd tonight, and it's brilliant to see. So, yeah, man of the match, first half for me.
Marin Fellaini's made a contribution. He said, I had to sell my hair to buy the new iPhone X. Not worth it. There you go. Yeah, I just watched the Martial. I mean, when you're watching it live, you sort of tend to miss a little bits about it. But the Martial run for the penalty was just brilliant. And it's a shame he didn't score it for many reasons, but it's a big shame he didn't score it, so that we'd be on about that run a little bit more, because it was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant run. And there is nobody in the United squad who can do that as consistently as he can. I think Martial's been fantastic, but I do agree with Ross. It's like whether Mourinho will see that as fantastic or not, because to be fair, there has been some wastefulness from Martial with the final ball. But as much as I agree with you on that, Ross, and you're totally right, what I never understand is how Mourinho could possibly perceive Martial's end product as a negative when you look at the amount of players he's running past before that final ball. And then you've got Lingard in the same team who he picks more, who just is unable to do that, and whose final ball is pretty atrocious as well.
Exactly, and I think that comes down to the sort of football you'd rather see played. And I would rather see a player pick the ball up and challenge defenders rather than have midfielders pass it to and from them and the defender and end up with a long ball. And that's what really winds me up. So I love it. I think Jose likes it as well because let's not forget he did have Hazard and he loved Hazard. And I think Martial and Hazard have a lot of similar qualities, to be honest. But I don't know if it's a Martial thing, or I don't even know if he's constantly sort of undermining him a little bit because he knows that there's more to come. Because I'm not being funny. I think his performances have, to a point, improved under Jose Mourinho. Martial was fantastic under Van Gaal, but he's looking hungry for it, and he's looking like he's really trying. And I think that there's things to his game that he's added that we've not really taken notice of because of the fact that he's playing behind Rashford. So you never know with Jose. He might secretly like him, and I think he does. Otherwise, he wouldn't still keep getting these chances. But it will be Rashford against Chelsea, unfortunately.
It's good to develop on that positive. Sam Axe says Jose wants more from Martial. He could be as good as Ronaldo or Messi, and I think that's probably right. You know, we all know Martial's the best player when it comes to Lingard and even Rashford, to be honest. But is Martial actually playing at his full potential? Has he still got a lot to learn? Yeah, probably has. Maybe that's why Mourinho is a bit hard on him and doesn't give him loads of praise, because he wants him to, you know, he's fully aware of how good he is, but he also knows he can be much better than that. So, you know, that is another theory that, to be fair, is quite a good one. But, you know, maybe with Lingard, he just gives him the praise because he knows he's hitting his ceiling if he plays okay. Whereas Martial, he feels he can get, you know, he can go to that. I've said about Martial, he could be a Ballon d'Or winner, but he still needs to improve more. Fancy any goals in the second half, Ross? Or do you think 1-0 is pretty much it?
No, I think there'll probably be 2 goals in the second half to make it 3-0 because Benfica have got to come at us. They really have, because if they don't win tonight, I'm pretty sure that they're out of the Champions League, and they're fighting for Europa League spots. You know, they've got to even get third. Team like Benfica, champions of Portugal. It's embarrassing, to be honest. So I think they've really got to come at us. And that space in behind, if the players like Lingard and Mata can release Lukaku quick, there's going to be a lot more one-on-ones in that second half.
I think if Lingard's carrying a little bit of a touch, he should get Mkhitaryan on in this game. I know he's been awful, but are we really at that stage where we're saying Mkhitaryan's finished, let's sell him? I don't think we are. And here's an opportunity, get him on. You never know. He might come on, have a brilliant 45 minutes, and we get Mkhitaryan back. You've
literally just echoed everything that I said while you went away, mate.
All right. Good. All right then, mate. Well, they're coming out. So thanks for joining us, Ross.
No worries.
And I'll no doubt speak to you before the Chelsea game.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and I look forward to it. Catch you later.
Cheers, Ross, and you can follow Ross on Twitter at Hazza90, which is at HAZZA90. Do give him a follow on Twitter. He's got lots of banter and lots of time. Gets to tweet far more than I do. Mickey is on for Lingard, so we're both very happy with that. I think that's the right thing to do. I think this is it. Let me just start the timer. The champions. Come on. Come on. I want that ball to move so I can start the timer. And it is. And it has. Good. So, yeah, I'm happy that Mkhitaryan is on. It should suit him down to the ground. There is space out there, and it could be a defining game in Mkhitaryan's season, which has definitely gone off the boil to be nice. So a good 45 minutes for him can only be good for United, because I still think that that number 10 position is a real problem for United, and he's clearly never going to play Mata there. So it's Lingard or Mkhitaryan. If Mkhitaryan's playing anywhere near his capability, then Mkhitaryan is infinitely better than Lingard as a number 10. Lovely flick by Martial again. He's got Blind in, finds Lukaku. Terrible first touch. Oh dear, Romelu. If he controls it like a normal footballer, then he's got to switch out right to Mata. But I can't be critical of Lukaku in his first touch because it's not news. It's not news. Many of us said when we signed him we were worried about his first touch. Mourinho signed him, and many of us said, look, we're going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt with the first touch. His first touch is not news. It's frustrating, but it's not news. Because we already know it. It's just a shame when he blows it like that. Quite a lot of empty seats at Old Trafford tonight. Well in by Bailly and Darmian. Who scored for United? It wasn't Matic's goal. It was a shot. And here's Mickey. Nice little run. Yusuf, thanks for the contribution. It was a long shot by Matic that hit the post, and as it bounced back off the post, it hit the goalkeeper for Benfica and went in the goal. Joey O's just asked that question. I've let them know. Hopefully we'll get a bit more fluidity in the team though now that Mkhitaryan's on. Lukaku getting a bit of stick again. Yes, it was an own goal, but you know, not in the traditional sense. It was a good shot by Matic. I think Matic deserves the goal, but it wasn't on target, was it? It hit the post, keeper had dived, and then it hit the keeper and went in. Good tackle by McTominay. Tyrone Williams says Lukaku's touch makes me feel as if he has feet made out of concrete. If Lukaku had a first touch, he would have cost 125 million, says J Day. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good comment because we can all moan about his first touch, but we're going to be moaning about it for a long time because he hasn't got a good first touch, so it's no surprise. But he's going to have to improve it because a United striker if the ball's not going to stick with the striker, it's a problem. And Mourinho's always had strikers where the ball does stick. So they're in down the right here, but Bay's in. So I'm sure he will improve it, but he's not going to improve his first touch in 3 months. It's probably going to take a season. This is the same goalkeeper that played against us in the game at Benfica, yeah. So he's had a bit of a good play by McTominay there. He started the second half quite well. Darmian couldn't pass the parcel at the moment, but we've got it with Blind. Well done. That's not a foul, no. Remember, if you are new, subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We'll be live again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I've got Rodney on tomorrow night. A lot of people like Rodney, so 8 o'clock tomorrow night with Rodney. Thursday night at 8 o'clock is the preview for the Chelsea game. It'll be live at Friday night as well. Some content for you on Saturday, and obviously we've got Chelsea on Sunday. Massive day. 4:30 kickoff. It's going to be really weird on Sunday night because we'll have fan cams going up. We'll have Sunday Night Live, we'll have match reactions all in the space of about an hour because the game won't finish till nearly 7 o'clock. Oh, lovely back heel there. I think it's Martial again. Getting Mata in. And then a shot by... It wasn't Mata. I think it was Martial's back heel. Oh, he's so good. Martial today... Tell you what, Martial's had more flicks tonight than a 90s boy band messing with their hair. Let's have a look round Europe. Still, Atletico Madrid losing to Karabag. How does that happen? Realistically, how does that happen? PSG are 2-0 up against Anderlecht. Bayern Munich are winning in Celtic. Rangers. Verratti and Neymar for PSG. Basel are beating Moscow 1-0, which will be interesting because we play them next. Come see, come ça. I keep forgetting that I'm actually wearing horns. Martial is a beast, says Ray Carl Anthony Brown. He's been fantastic tonight. My man of the match. Tom555J makes a good point. Is Martial any worse than Ronaldo was at that age? And to be honest, Ronaldo probably was a little bit better, but they're not worlds apart. And Ronaldo was obviously playing a lot more football. I think if Martial played every week, he would be a far better player than he is at the moment, and he's been a very good player this year. I mean, I have Martial in my fantasy Premier League team, even though he doesn't start games. You know that if he comes on, he's probably going to do something. Mkhitaryan plays it nice, simple. Lukaku fouled. It will be good for United, I agree. It will be good for United when we get Zlatan, when we get Pogba back. And even when we get Fellaini back, the options it will give us so that we don't have to play people like Lingard and McTominay. I'm all for playing them in the Europa League, but sorry, the League Cup, but top level. And we're moving the ball around better this half. There's a better understanding between Mata and Mkhitaryan than there was with Lingard, and better. Lukaku into his feet from McTominay, kept the ball. Here's Martial, 2 players on him. Oh, he's got it. Oh, terrible. See, that's where Martial will let himself down in Mourinho's eyes. Gets himself away down the left, and the cross is awful, but he's smiling. He's not. Doesn't look like it's something like maybe last season he'd be really frustrated with himself because he's trying too hard. He just got the cross wrong and had a little smile, but I think he's enjoying himself tonight, which is good. Darshan with the $1 million question. When is Pogba back? Who knows, mate? Who really does know? Yes, you're right, mate. We are. Here's Lukaku on the attack. He's got Martial into the box. He's going to need something. Oh, again. This ain't going to be helping him. But Lukaku's there clapping him, which I think is brilliant there. Lukaku is telling him to get his head up. Which I love to see that. Because Martial's been fantastic tonight, but Lukaku's older than him, and he's giving it. Jack Brown, it would be nice to see Luke Shaw get a bit of time. Yep, I agree, it would, but whether he'll play him in a game like this, I don't know. Tomley trying to find something there. Chris Andrews says that Martial's trying things he shouldn't. He should just keep it simple. It won't be impressing Mourinho. I was just about to say then, we are amazingly closing in on 150,000 subscribers, which will be another big landmark for the channel. So if you are new, subscribe, get involved. I don't know when we might do that. It's always hard to judge the rate of subscriber growth. But hopefully before the end of the year. But so keep spreading the word and getting involved and subscribing and watching the shows and all that jazz. Dan Butterworth says McTominay man of the match. I can sort of see why you're saying that, Dan, but you're only going to give him man of the match because of his age, and it's his debut in the Champions League, which is fine. But I would rather just give him a shout out and say he did well, because in the grand scheme of things, he's not man of the match. He's not played better than Matic. He's not played better than Martial. Good shot, straight at De Gea. But he has done well, and I can sort of see why you might want to give it him because of his age, and he definitely deserves a shout out. But I still do think, in relation to him, what does he do other than a few things okay? I still think there needs to be a lot of growth in his game, which there can be for a young player. Definitely can. Omar Suarez, Martial is finished at United. Jose will bench him. I don't know about that. But here's Tony. Could do with the second goal. Could do with the second goal here. Shah Hassan says McTominay man of the match. I think it's quite clearly Martial, but you know, I ain't going to argue with people if you want to give it to a young lad who's done okay. I think Martial's probably looking at being subbed soon. Mata, cross. Martial's final ball in this half has gone off. What the hell was that? Oh, he's kept it in. 222 Damien, good comment. He says Mkhitaryan looks more comfortable. Exactly. I think it was so important to get Mkhitaryan on in this game because I'm surprised Lindelof didn't play as well, because it's like it's an opportunity to just give players some confidence. Mata's been good, says Tabo. Mata's always good, isn't he? Mr. Consistent. Karzix has been here since 1,000 subscribers. Amazing. Stefan says, is it realistic that Griezmann will join us in January? I don't see how, because he will be cup tied for Europe, so he may as well stay at Atletico Madrid, who, to be honest, may not be in the Champions League. They might be in the Europa League. The fact is, Griezmann should have joined us in the summer. Look at Atletico Madrid's season. It's not been very good. They're not doing well in the Champions League, so all he stayed for is loyalty. Smalling's been beat here, and a cracking save by De Gea again. I tell you what, I'm going to make a note about that as well. De Gea's made 2 cracking saves today. Not had a load to do because we've not been dominated, but yeah, De Gea with another cracking save. Well, what's going on in Europe? It'd be nice if Moscow scored against Basel. That would be really nice. George, Kyle, Slating, Smalling. Not gonna react. 222 Damien says, I would love to see Twansibi in the midfield. Yeah, I think if you think McTominay's good in midfield, Twansibi would be better. That's what I would say. As would Fosu Mensah, but obviously he's on loan. Matt has been very, very good, I agree. Basically, if your name begins with M, you're laughing tonight in a United shirt because they've all been really good. Little flick from Mkhitaryan. Just too much weight on it for Martial to get onto it. But he'd made the run. I'm playing in a five-a-side tournament on Friday night, actually. So I won't be live at 8 o'clock on Friday night because the tournament starts at 7 PM and there are 3 games in the group stage. So, don't know, I'm just telling you that. Sondre Roos, you keep talking about the timer. We've used this timer for months. We're not going to change it. Cracking tackle by Bay. The timer's absolutely right. We are 16 minutes into the second half. It's just we don't call it 61 minutes. Eric Bay's my man of the match, says Kieran Byrne. He did give a penalty away in the first half that the referee didn't give him, but he has been good. And to be honest with you, I think we were sort of questioning why Eric Bay was playing because we were a bit worried about whether he'd get a bit of an injury in the game. But actually, I think it's been better for him because I think he needed some game time. So again, you can't fault Mourinho. I mean, yeah, the football's not been brilliant at times, but actually, in relation to some of the, you know, Bay's been very good. He needed game time. I think Martial's been very good, and he needed to start playing well from the start. You know, McTominay's obviously been a success. I think the only thing is it would have been nice to see Lukaku get a goal. And at the moment, Mata's come into that number 10 position, and nice little ball to Mickey, and loses it. Too lightweight though. He gets shoulder barged there, and then he gives up. (3-0) to Roma. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Right, the overlap. You've got to look right, Darmin. You've gone right the wrong way there. You had an overlap, and he just doesn't look. Mata was unmarked on the right. Yeah, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing that Chelsea are getting hammered by Roma 3-0 because they'll react, won't they, against us. But what I wanted to say is, and last time I tried to talk about this, we actually scored a goal. That midfield three of Roma is something else. Nainggolan, Rossi and Strootman. I know there are different factors there. Rossi's getting on a bit, Strootman injuries, but you know it is a good midfield three. It is a good midfield three. Basel 1, Moscow 1. That's massive for us. I think actually we'll be more or less hosed and dry. Oh, Martial, lovely little ball into Mkhitaryan there. And he loses it. I'd love to beat Chelsea at the weekend. Absolutely love it. But I'm not going to fall into that trap with Chelsea like I did with Liverpool, saying, oh, I've got nothing to fear. We very rarely get a result at Stamford Bridge, and I think we've got to live by that rule that a point might be ceiling for that. But I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them. Chelsea, oh dear, Bay's giving this away. And they've hit the post. Don't think Bay can get man of the match for that. Just passed it to, tried to pass it to Smalling. It's a poor pass. Keeper's running through. And I don't know whether Smalling puts an interception here in. He does, you know. Well done, Chris Smalling. George, sit down. Lots of notes. I'm making lots of notes for the match reaction. Interested to see what people are going to say on the fan cams. Lukaku keeps it in and down the flanks, running unselfishly again. What can he do? Pass one. Cross, not very good. And Benfica clear it. I think Nainggolan would have been class at United. Active Dan. I really wanted us to sign him. Closest thing to Roy Keane in world football. Oh, look at that from Smalling. I think Smalling's been brilliant. He's obviously heard the criticism of George Kyle. He's stopped them from equalising, and now he's gone up a level. George has gone very quiet back. Lee Casson, I'm with you. Smalling's been brilliant again. In fact, I'm gonna write about Smalling. He's gonna get a big shout out in match reaction. Just don't let me down now. Jay Harrod says get Lukaku off. And Herrera's coming on. And it should be for Matic, I would have thought. No, it's for Mata. I don't know. Is Mata likely to play against Chelsea? I think that's just cost him man of the match, to be honest. This is going to be a nightmare for me. Computer later. It's pissing about. Right. Shaka, you're right. Mkhitaryan does need to bulk up, but Herrera on to. I think we've changed. We've probably seen a. Well, no, we haven't seen a formation change. McTominay's sort of moving into a more. I don't know what we've done with the formation here. Martial's up through the middle at the moment, and Lukaku's sort of gone to the left, but. Well done, Darmian. Mickey, well done. McTominay, well done. We're on the break. He's got to pass it. I know Mkhitaryan gets pulled down and there he's on the run and he gets pulled down, it's a yellow card, but I also think he needs to get rid of the ball quicker because we're on the break there. And yellow card, what does it really mean when we're on the break? Get rid of the ball quicker. Definitely a yellow though, pulled him back. Haddy Does Gaming says, Mark, you look weird. That's because I'm wearing a couple of horns, mate. Oh, Mickey. McTominay megged again. "20 minutes to go. Could do with a second goal. The Icy Inferno says Lukaku needs to score soon. He hasn't scored in ages. He nearly did there. Slipped in by Mkhitaryan, and I don't know whether he was offside, but the keeper made a save. There's a one-on-one anyway. Yes, he did. He was offside. But he's had 3 assists in the last 2 games, so you know it's not all about goals. I do agree with Mourinho there. He was offside as well. McTominay, Kwame, I'm having that. He should be. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. He should be called McTominay because he gets megged so many times. Brilliant. See if it does well on Twitter. Kwame, you've come up with something there. Probably going to get a lot of hate, to be honest. So Lukaku's had 3 assists, hasn't he? He assisted Martial at the weekend. He assisted Rashford at Huddersfield. And he assisted tonight. He played the pass to Matic. I know it goes down as an own goal, but you know what I mean. It's not far off being an assist, really. Thanks to all our moderators tonight. As Alex Burke says, excellent as ever. Good ball by McTominay. Martial into the box on his right foot. Final ball again. It's a shame. Martial has been brilliant, but his second half performance on this final ball has not done him any favours, I don't think, in relation to... as Ross said, I think Rashford was always starting against Chelsea and not Martial. Here we go. Oh, Martial played McTominay and that would have been brilliant. Blocked by the defender as he went to score what would have been a memorable goal in the Champions League for the young lad. Celtic have equalised against Bayern Munich, says Adrian. Lewis Christen says, we've been very sloppy tonight and I think the players' minds are on the Chelsea game. That may well be, Lewis, that may well be. But ultimately, if we get the 3 points and we keep a clean sheet, then their minds can be on the Chelsea game. That's fine, as long as we win. God, Daly didn't look like he was running backwards there, but he did make the interception. I need to stand up a minute. I'm getting a bit of cramp in my left hamstring. A lot of people saying that it's sad to watch United at the moment. We're really poor. I don't see it. We're about to make a substitution. I bet it's for Martial. I guarantee. So, no Luke Shaw again for United. Bit of a shame. And it is Martial for Rashford. Happy birthday, Marcus Rashford. It's your birthday coming on. It is a bit frustrating, Martial coming off, because he's head and shoulders our best attacker tonight. I know his final ball's been a bit off at times, but head and shoulders our best attacker. No way he's going to play him against Chelsea. And I wouldn't have took him off. Buying a bit in settle 2-1. As long as it ends like this and Basel draw with CSKA Moscow, I think it's going to be a very, very fruitful night for Manchester United, if it stays this way. But Benfica are going for it. I don't know why Jose don't play something a bit of defensive now, you know. Shut up the shop. Rashford down the left. Good run. Good run. Penalty. Yes. That was a penalty. So who's going to take it for United? And this will put the game to bed. And I think Jose Mourinho will be very, very happy. And it's Lukaku. I want him to score, but I don't like him. I don't think he's technically... I bet he goes to the keeper's left. He always goes to the keeper's left. Oh no, it's Daley Blind. Daley Blind will score. Technically very good. I'd rather Blind than... because of course Matters off. Way straight down the middle. 2-0. Job done. Comfortable. We'll have that. Very happy. You know, straight down the middle as well. You can have your United been boring, but effective. It's almost the Gary Neville comment on Mourinho for Sky this week in a team cup, isn't it? You know. So see Mourinho's reaction to it again. It's like, oh, I've got a point to prove. He's like turning around, everyone going like, but it's not like he's joining in. It's like, look at me, I'm right again. And it's like this frustration. He's got to drop it. Nobody's attacking him. Just join in and enjoy it. I want to see him enjoying it at Manchester United like he used to enjoy it at Chelsea when he was first there. He's like he's angry, but he's getting angry with the wrong people for me. But this is a good win for United. More or less will qualify us. I think it does qualify us, but I always think about. I'm always thinking about first, not second. But yeah, you know what? I think we are a bit spoilt at the moment because we're able to talk about performance when we're winning games, and that's always a good position to be in. There might be more goals in this anyway. I mean, Daley Blind's not had a bad game either, has he? Fair few people saying that. (50-50) possession wise. Corner for Benfica. Be nice for old David to get a clean sheet. Good running by Rashford. Rashford looks sharp when he's come on as well. I mean, this is the thing I always say about Rashford and Martial is, yeah, it's disappointing Martial goes off, but Marcus Rashford and Martial are my two favourite players, so I think man of the match is going to be really interesting in the comment section. Sorry, in the match reaction. I refuse to give it to McTominay at the moment. I think I'm more than happy to give him a big shout out. He's played well, but I think giving him man of the match is too sentimental. I don't think he's been man of the match. He's played very well for a young lad, and here he is, and he's overhit the pass, and that's why he's made a few mistakes as well. It's not a man of the match performance; it's a good performance. So the way things stand at the moment, I think Moscow must be beating Basel, because we are 6 points clear with 2 games to go, and I don't think we'll get caught. So this is luxury time, absolutely luxury time if it stays like this. 6 points clear of the 2 teams in second, which would be Moscow and Basel. Mkhitaryan's through. I don't think he's given a foul. Come back to the live comments. Lamia Seed says you're being harsh on McTominay. I'm not. I'm not giving him man of the match. That's not being harsh. He's played really well, but I'm not giving him man of the match. It's not how my mind works. I don't give somebody man of the match through sentimentality. I give the person man of the match who deserves man of the match because they were the best player on the pitch. And I can already think of 2 players that have been better than McTominay, who's played very well and will get a shout out, but he will not be my man of the match. If other people want to give him man of the match because he's a 20-year-old and his Champions League debut and he's done well, then fine. That's your prerogative. It's not mine. What I would say about McTominay though is, I wish he was 6'2" instead of 6'4", because 6'4", he's always going to be gangly. He's always going to be gangly, and I think for a midfielder you want a bit of a lower centre of gravity. Blind man of the match, says Patrick. George Kyle, ooh, and that's not for Halloween. He's talking about who I might give man of the match to. I'm going to make George's night if I give it to him. But I'm not going to be negative about this performance. I think clean sheet, comfortable win, job done. You know, did you want to see United all guns blazing tonight? You know, we have conserved energy. Certain players haven't played this game as well. So it's, you know, I think United have been playing in 4th gear, which is fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. No complaints at all. But Benfica down the left hand side. Rashford into the box again. Nice for him to score on his birthday. If he does, Lukaku blocked. 86 minutes. Oh, Robin van Persie. Oh, Robin van Persie. Cross comes in. Ooh, right across the 6-yard box. It was a Benfica chance, not a United chance. It will go for a corner. And United clear the corner. I hope we do keep a clean sheet, because that is, you know, all confident. It's all about confidence. I mean, that's a good comment as well. Matic has had to play. Oh, De Gea with another save. Lukaku running down the left. So Benfica have got 0 points in this group and United have got 12, which is obviously fantastic for us, not so good for them. I've got a correct score prediction if it stays 2-0. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see a lot of goals in this United team. But I'm more than happy with the result if it stays like this, of course. De Gea is a contender for man of the match. I think it'd be remiss to say no. Oh, that looks bad on Blind there. I hope it's not bad. Three minutes of added time. And oh, he's got up. He's all right. It just looked a bit nasty for Blind, but it's all right. He's fine. And ultimately, at end of the day, all you could say is job done for Manchester United, because that is what we've done. We've done a job tonight, and I'm interested to see what everybody's thoughts are on the game, because it is a job done game. And you know, I think if your name begins with M, you probably had a good game tonight for Manchester United. I can think of 4. Will a player beginning with M be my man of the match? Well, you'll have to wait and see in a couple of minutes' time when we do it on the watch-along. But I've taken a few notes tonight, and I think I'm very proud of what lads have done. They've been very good, and I think they should be pleased with themselves in a way. But it's all about the weekend, and I presume Chelsea have lost, or are losing. And for us, that's good. That's good. Would you consider McTominay to play against Chelsea? God, no. No. I mean, I think small steps, and he's made small steps tonight, but not in a game of that magnitude. Not when you've got like Herrera who can play and Matic who can play. No. If we were up against it, we'd have to throw him in there, but no, not for me. Not in a game like this that we've got at the weekend. Thanks everybody who's watched the watch along tonight. Remember to subscribe to the United Stand if you are new. We've got Flex and the fan cams coming up later, so it'll be interesting. I'm really intrigued to see whose people's man of the match were. And Mourinho looks really happy. And job's a good one. Job's a good one. I'm not going to mess around any longer. The link to my match reaction is in the video description. I'll be over there in 60 seconds. You can go through the link in the video description, or you can go through the homepage. It's called Manchester United 2, Benfica 0. Matic and Blind goals win it. And the link is in the video description. I think it's going to be a really interesting match reaction. Join us over there because we're going to be talking about man of the match, and I know it's going to divide a few opinions, and I think some people aren't particularly happy with the result. All miserable Mourinho again, who looks absolutely like somebody's died. What is his problem? We'll be discussing that and more in 60 seconds time. Link in the video description. Match reaction, man of the match. What's Mourinho's problem? I'll see you in a moment. Oh, got to end this one first. Goldbridge.